I know. That's why you're getting all this air all around the world now. That's why you ain't every damn thing. Blah, blah.
Oh, okay.
When the dogs fight, when the bees sing, when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember all these kinds of things, and then I don't feel so bad.
Yeah. Listen. I'm not inspired by these other guys. I'm more than fortified, I'm more than wise, feel like I'm 45. I'm more than high, the sort of gotta leave you mortified. Made a master plan, I'm suing up and getting organized. So ahead of my time, had to remind the alarm clock. I'm not letting it slide, got the bar, I'm setting it high. Pass the blunt and never pass the torch. Now with the back and forth, say suck my dick and then I laugh it off. I'm in my bag just like I'm at the mall. I'm in the field, but I won't pass the ball. I'm for where they shoot the score and hold the text, and I'm not talking about basketball. I'm talking ratchets to these masking all. So stay in tune or you ain't lasting long. I'm the ghost, so tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend so they could pass it on. Yeah, so they could pass it on. I'm not inspired by these other hoes. I feel untouchable and I'm getting close to the mother lode. I'm about my bread, not talking butter rolls. All these bitches hoes, it turn winter, you still in summer clothes. My mama told me that they come and go. How could you care about her coming fast if money's coming slow? These niggas fake, I can't be one of those. It's levels to the shit and you niggas stuck in a bungalow. I shoot for heights, they told me that I can't reach. And you'll get crucified just like I did this damn beat. And if you can't see, I'ma be a damn king. I'ma make it reality, this is not a damn dream. What the fuck they thought it was? I can't fall in love, you must be dumb or run of drugs. Acting up, I'll call your bluff. Exotic in my system, cause I can feel a tension. Said that you fit the description, but they hit them from a distance. Easy.
Stop complaining how people move, just stop dealing with them. Fuck talking behind their back, just stop chilling with them. Being fake gon' make it worse, don't try to...
Well, alrighty then, welcome to the Lion's Den. If you like the information that's being presented to you this evening, tonight, wherever you at, Moni, it don't matter. But if you like the information, please hit the subscribe button and like at the same time and share the information to your friends, your family, your folks.
Looking forward to a good discussion tonight, you guys. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
My turn to speak now?
It's most definitely.
Yeah. What's going on, everybody? Peace and love. Thank y'all for coming together and helping me get this together, because this is what we need. You know what I'm saying? Instead of separation and division, this is what we need to bring it together. You know what I mean? I come to beat up Devine Feminism, you know, Mother Goddess, and L. You know, L could be singular for God, or L could mean, you know, the angels, and it has different meanings. It could be, it's a couple different things that L means. So, you know, tonight we're going to put some truths in where we've been misled in the lies point at nobody's religion or how they believe. How they believe and what they do, that's on them. But when the truth is being pushed out here, there should be some pushback. You shouldn't be upset if your information is the truth. So why wouldn't you ask for somebody to critique it? Because the truth is going to be the truth regardless, and it doesn't need validation to anybody. But we're going to learn about Christmas. We're going to learn about Easter. And this brother who's the videos that I'm using, he's an anthropologist. So we can see some of the works and some of the history that, like Christmas. We're going to go over Christmas. We're going to go over Christmas and how the origin story of it, and we're going to go over Easter also. And put an end to some of these lies, like I said about the mother goddess and Satan is Elohim. He was an angel, wasn't he? So Satan was an Elohim. So and the Canaanite deity El. So Karima, whenever you're ready, sister, we can play that first video. I don't like to be long-winded. I just like to get into the information and give my people the truth. Put it out here in front of you, like I'm regurgitating myself. I'm using this brother's information to present. So, we just got to pass on the truth, keep on passing it around, keep on telling it. All right. You know what I'm saying? Because there's too many lies out here today. Too many false prophets. The false prophet is a liar. The liar is, who is the liar? We all know who the liar is. And you're acting just like God told me, you're acting just like your father, Satan. So we're going to see how all this stuff mixed together. I know I'm all over the place, and it's just kind of hard to understand where I'm coming from. But by the time we get done this, we will definitely get a better understanding of what's going on. And I appreciate y'all for coming out and have some fun, y'all. Let's go. Let's learn. All right. Go ahead, Karima.
Ancient Canaanite deity, often depicted as a bronze, bull-headed idol with outstretched hands over a fire, usually associated with the practice of child sacrifice, although this interpretation remains controversial. While some scholars argue that no bull-headed Phoenician god was known to exist, the sun god was often represented in accordance to the current zodiac age, which 4,000 years ago was Taurus, the bull. According to legend, the statue was hollow with a lit flame inside, and while the name Moloch was traditionally regarded to mean king, we must look to the Sumerians to understand its correct astro-theological context. The ancient Sumerians were the first academically recognized astronomers. They were credited with creating the first historical record of the zodiac and used the 7 non-fixed celestial objects to develop the 7-day week, the 5 visible planets to the naked eye, plus the sun and the moon.
Rule number 3, you can't get rich slow. When I owned 100 houses.
The first day of the week, Sunday, was dedicated to the sun, and the last day of the week, Saturday, was also dedicated to the sun. Of course, Saturday was named after Saturn. However, the Sumerians described 2 suns, the one that we see shining in the day and its nocturnal counterpart that shone during the night. The first day of the week was dedicated to the brighter sun, and the last day of the week, that was called the evil day, was dedicated to the black sun. In ancient Mesopotamia, the Magi, from where we get the term magician from, regarded the planet Saturn as the night sun and deemed it to be black, or the sun's alchemical shadow, its polar solar opposite. This ancient Babylonian description of Saturn as the black star stretched down to the Greeks and Hindus, particularly around 700 BC, and should be considered in a symbolic and mythological rather than literal context. The Greeks refer to Saturn, the Roman god of agriculture, as Kronos, who in mythology eats his 12 children, the 12 Titans, which represent the 12 solar months or the 12 zodiacal houses of the sun. Kronos would then vomit them up again, signifying creation, destruction, and rebirth, as Saturn was associated with cycles of time and seasons. While it's true that Saturn was associated with death, this should also be regarded in the context of a cyclical harvest, the opposite of spring, part of the solar year. El, Bel, Kronos, Elohim, and other designations are names of Saturn. Bel, in the reasoning of the sacred mysteries, was both Saturn and Sol. Bel is the Syrian Kronos, the name being derived from Keren, to shine. Corona, coronate, coronal, coronium, chromosphere, crown are all derived from the word chronos and are references to the solar, light, or sun rays. So the term black sun can be said to apply to the solar representative at night, which is Saturn. But rather than just looking at it in a nocturnal terms, this also is applied to the yearly harvest cycle. That's why the celebration known as Saturnalia was celebrated just before the winter solstice, an ancient Roman festival honoring Saturn as an agricultural deity, part of a fertility or nature religion, who the Romans called the Lord of Death, the dark side of the summer sun, the black sun of winter. That said, one should consider its symbolic significance as a malevolent or dark aspect of the sun, which involved rituals such as sacrifice, intoxication from ingestion of psychedelic substances or alcohol, altered states due to prolonged orgies, as well as its alchemical context of transformation, which, in a Gnostic perspective, equates to individual liberty, spiritual alignment, and freedom from external forces. The 7 metals known since classical times in Europe were associated with the 7 classical planets. The exact correlation varied over time. However, gold, silver, and lead have always been associated with the sun, moon, and Saturn. And it's the sun and Saturn that we'll be focusing on today. So when we hear the term turning lead into gold, we're referencing Saturn as lead and the sun as gold, which in a spiritually alchemical context speaks to transmuting or refining energy. Lead is the lowest of the base metals, and it was said to carry all the energy necessary for its complete transformation into gold. All the metals beyond lead, meaning of greater atomic weight, will disintegrate over time by radioactive decay and transform back into lead. Saturn is the farthest planet away from the sun in alchemy, and to the alchemists, lead is the metal of redemption and transformation. Astrologically, Saturn is represented by Capricorn, the goat, and also rules Aquarius, a herald of a new age, and symbolizes transformation. So while the daytime sun represented the exalted, Christ-like solar end of the spectrum, if we look at it in a Christian context, the other polar opposite of the night sun or black sun, represented by the horned goat, could be seen as satanic. That said, there are two sides of the same coin, and one could not exist without the other, the same way that darkness and light need each other to exist, or left and right, etc. This can be taken in several ways, esoterically speaking. While alchemy refers to the transformation of metal, lead to gold, the internal alchemical process was really about transmuting raw, carnal sex energy into spiritual gold, refining carnal lust into creativity and divine wisdom. This knowledge of sacred energetic transmutation was forbidden by the church, which explains the acronym F and U and C and K, which means for unlawful carnal knowledge. The tantric practice of prolonging and intensifying the blissful climax of lovemaking and separating it from the expulsion of male vital essence allows for the practitioner to harness the life energy known as chi in the East, prana in the subcontinent, and vril in European secret societies, refining it into spiritual light. That said, the esoteric mystery school techniques meant to liberate the soul are not limited to sexual practices, as it's also considered important to remove deep-seated emotional blocks, usually acquired through past traumatic events, which restrict one's energetic potential, which is best articulated by psychologist and alchemist Carl Jung, who said, quote, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." The latter procedure, however, is disagreeable and therefore not popular. The subconscious can be seen as the dark aspect of the mind, and accessing this aspect of self is the focal point of many of the mystery school rituals, which take place at certain intervals of the year. In astrotheology, the journey to the underworld is the night or nocturnal period when celestial bodies fall out of sight below the horizon. When an object is visible, it is regarded as life-giving, such as the sun during the day, and its raw polar opposite is its dark, shadowy, or hidden aspect, which Jung regarded as subconscious. Quote, "In the form of a dove, she, Sophia, descended into the water and begat Saturn, who is identical with Yahweh or Jehovah. Saturn, as we've already mentioned, is the other sun, the Sol Niger, the black sun of alchemy."
Hey, want to know how I got this $50,000 check for an accident I was involved in over 5 months ago? Look, if you've been injured in a car...
The term Sol Niger, which literally means black sun, refers to the first stage in the creation of the Philosopher's Stone, the Nigrido, which means blackness. In Jung's view, it's the shadow side of the psyche that drains vital energy from the consciousness, as long as it's not illuminated or consciously made brighter. So it is considered dead and represents a skeleton. In Mesoamerican mythology, the black sun is mirrored in the god Quetzalcoatl, who also transitions through the underworld. The ancient Mexicans, or Mexica, also had a dark sun and a day sun. And depending on who you ask, the feminine aspect is often associated with black, as it's the case with the Black Madonna or the black goddess Kali, which is symbolic and has nothing to do with race or skin color. The Aztec concept of the passage of the black sun through the underworld was expressed as a butterfly, symbolic of mystical transformation and spiritual rebirth. In ancient Mesopotamia, Saturn was called Moloch, connected to the solar bull, and as I've already established, was not separate from the solar religion, meaning it was also considered a dark aspect of the sun. This is the case for Babylon, the Hittites, Amorites, and Phoenicians, who used the term Bel or Baal, and to whom child sacrifices were made, along with ritual intoxication, orgies, and altered states whereby the priests and priestesses could communicate with higher consciousnesses for alleged purposes of divination, which could be considered demons, spirits, gods, discarnate entities, angels, or interdimensional beings. While some sources consider this trance-like state to be, in actuality, communion within one's own subconscious mind, or that of the collective unconscious, others insist it is separate entities which seem to stand outside of linear time, thus able to grant insight, as was the alleged case with the Oracle of Delphi. I'll leave it up to the viewer to come to their own conclusions, as I merely wanted to draw attention to the belief system as it still persists into modern times covertly. Many of you are familiar with my first published book called 1666, Redemption Through Sin, which is about a heretical movement of Judaism, which started with the declaration of a Jewish mystic and ordained rabbi named Sabbatai Zevi, who proclaimed himself Messiah in 1666. He proposed that through acts of sin, such as sexual immorality, one could be led to spiritual redemption and expedite the reconstruction of the temple, the same temple that the Knights Templar revered. And while his movement ended with his converting to Islam, continuing his esoteric practices in secret, many of his practices and beliefs continue until today, hidden in many of the world's mainstream religions. His name, Sabbatai, literally translates to Saturn, and his ideology can be seen as a continuation from a secret sect of ancient, heretical, Zoroastrian priests known as Magi, from where we get the term magician from, and whose mystery school religion stretched back into the recesses of antiquity. My name is Robert Sepper. I'm an anthropologist. My published work is available on Amazon and through all other major book outlets.
Hold on. Don't nobody say nothing. Indigenous black man, I muted your mic because I can hear you. So unmute your mic and try to say something. Let me unmute it for you.
Throughout history, that's Sophia.
I can hear you.
Tell her to pause it for a second.
He said pause it for a second.
No, but I can hear him on his own account.
Oh.
I had to mute his mic because I was hearing both of y'all. Like I can hear y'all. Say something, Indigenous. You was just talking. I had to mute your mic. So it's like,
yeah, can you hear me now?
You was talking to somebody on your phone or in your background, and I heard you. Unmute the mic because it went off now.
Oh, okay.
Apollo. Oh, I just heard him.
I'll be quiet. My bad. I didn't know you could hear me.
Huh? I can hear you.
Yeah, I
said, Kareem, I said, I'm sorry. Can you hear me? Karima?
Yeah, I heard you through your own microphone. When the video was playing, everybody's mic was muted but your mic. And I was hearing you talking to somebody in the background. So I'm not understanding why I can't hear you now. But you was talking to somebody in the background.
Yeah, I was saying.
Apollo, unmute your mic.
Okay. We got it together.
Okay. Yeah. Just whenever you're done, we'll talk about it. It's almost done. All right. She playing?
You can start it back.
It's over with. So you got to send me the other video. Or actually start, open his mic so he can talk.
Yeah, I was just explaining to our brother. I was just explaining to our brother what, we're talking about the black sun, Sophia, the black Madonnas, like in Rome, and those black-faced. It's not, as much about the color as it is about the black sun and this worship of Saturn family. I wanted y'all to understand that, okay? So when we're going through this, see, this is all going back to Saturn, even Moloch, Baal, these beast worshipers. Why do these empires continue to go back and forth worshiping the beast instead of God, like it says in the book? Am I right, Apollo? Does it not say that in the book?
Right.
See what I'm saying? So why they keep doing it? Why these empires keep doing this? And it seems like it's in every empire. You even have the totem poles with the Native Americans. You understand? Why do we keep on going back to worshiping beasts instead of God? Well, we can keep it going, Karima. Thank you, sis. And I'm sorry for the interruption.
No, that was the end of the 14-minute video. That's why I say you have to shoot the other video.
As was the alleged case with the Oracle of Delphi. I'll leave it up to the viewer to come to their own conclusions, as I merely wanted to draw attention to the belief system. As it's still
Y'all don't hear that? Hey, y'all don't hear the mic. Everybody's mic is muted but Seth hears. Y'all don't hear that?
Yeah, something going on with his mic.
Which started with the declaration of a Jewish mystic and ordained rabbi named Sabbatai Zevi, who proclaimed himself Messiah.
It sounds like you got a TV in the background.
Through acts of sin, such as sexual immorality.
Well, it doesn't seem like he's paying attention.
No, he actually wanting on me to have a video, but I'm telling you that the video is done. That 14 minutes, and that's the only video that's on this side.
So is the conversation where...
No, unmute your mic, Apollo. Hold on. Unmute your mic.
He's supposed to be sending the other video over now.
Okay.
His name literally translates to Saturn, and his ideology can be seen as a continuation from a secret sect of ancient heretical Zoroastrian priests known as Magi, where we get the term magician from.
In the meantime, while we're waiting for him to get the video together, I'm gonna say this, right? These Europeans always seem to take our knowledge and and twist it into all type of devilish things. So we just gotta be mindful of how these games are being played with our information. But he's ready now.
Yeah. Ready for me to talk now? Yeah, Kareem, and you see what I'm saying? All this ties back into the occult and sexual magic and all this craziness. You know what I mean? This is just the first video, and you've seen the woman with the horns. There was a metal woman. She had horns. It's probably made of wood, or deer antlers on top of her head. And we already kind of went over this. Kareem, I sent you the second video, and I got the timestamps under it. Do you see that, sister?
Yep, I'm trying to pull it up right now.
I can't hear her. You got to tell me what she says.
I'm trying to pull it up right now.
Okay.
I'm pulling it up right now.
And this is where JJ and I had already went over a little bit of this, and you know, we were seeing it, but we wasn't really completely understanding what we were watching. And you know, it's CERN. When CERN opened, I showed them the video where CERN opened up, and they did a satanic ritual opening to Lucifer. And all the European dignitaries were sitting in the audience watching this. And they were showing the Celtic, you know, spiral. They were showing the tree of life upside down. You know, and they had all this old, like, Celtic, like, animal worship, or, you know, like, they were dressed up, you know, and it was a whole big presentation on the CERN opening. You know, when they opened, and this is CERN is where they run particles at each other at light speed, and when they crash into each other, they say that it creates like a little black hole. You know what I'm saying? That's what they say with that Hadron Collider is what the name of it is. Hadron, HYDRON, Hadron Collider. Okay, and that is at CERN, and this is where they did that satanic ritual opening. And I'm showing JJ this. It's like a 30-minute video, family. So I would suggest that y'all go back and watch it. But this part right here was where I was showing JJ some of this stuff, and you'll see some of the same things that we just seen on that video being depicted in this, you know, ritual to Satan being done in front of the European dignitaries. All right, Cream, are you ready? Whenever you're ready, sis, I'm ready. I got the timestamps there for you at the bottom of the video, so you can start whenever you're ready. But, you know, just let me know what she says, Apollo, and I thank you again, brother.
He went from 20,000 views to goddamn 3,000-4,000. So, man, what you talking about, bro?
The only nigga in the whole motherfucking group, and Satan had to pick her. She had to be the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. People love it. What's that, like a goat lion or something?
What'd you say, family?
I said, what's that, like a goat lion or something?
I couldn't hear you because the digits. Say it again. What's it like a what?
I said, what's that, like a goat lion or something?
Oh, yes. That's what it looked like. Some kind of antelope. I don't know what the hell it is.
That's the baby of the man.
Oh, okay.
What's the baby?
The woman and Satan mixing.
Yeah. That's what the baby look like?
That's crazy.
Well, at least you came out with white skin. Oh, shit. All right, let's go.
I believe the two women are supposed to represent the two witnesses, like in Revelation. In Revelation, the two witnesses prophesy for half.
According to Giant, dumbass, that should be Haile Selassie up on the goddamn stage. What the hell going on? Wait. Hey, Zion, how come Haile Selassie ain't there? You said he was one of the two witnesses, nigga. Slow ass.
Of Daniel 7.
You see all this symbolism going on. The two witnesses, the three evil spirits up in front of the all-seeing eye, all this Celtic, symbolism.
Right.
Keep it going, brother.
70th week. These women are doing similar by singing, announcing the birth and announcement of the man of sin, the son of perdition. Just like the two witnesses, they prophesy and they preach and they announce about the coming of the Lord Jesus Christ, that they should repent and believe the gospel. I could be completely wrong on this, but this is what I'm getting from it. They are calling all those who come from their version of the tree of life back. These are the people you see walking up. This is why you see their version of the tree of life upside down. As above, so below. Now, according to pagans, their tree of life encompasses all realms of existence. It is eternal in nature, having no beginning or ending. Wonder where they got that from. The tree of life is a symbol of immortality and healing of the soul. Its fruit is said to keep the gods, lowercase g, youthful. Their tree of life has many meanings. The balance and harmony in nature, wisdom, strength, rebirth, just as a tree will shed its leaves in the fall, hibernate in the winter, and be reborn with new leaves in the spring. Now I want you to notice that on their tree, in the picture, it has no leaves. It is also said the tree of life unites the upper and lower worlds, as above, so below. Its roots reach deep into the lower world, while its branches grow to the upper world. The trunk of the tree of life connects the two worlds to Earth's plane. It is through this connection that gods, lowercase g, in heaven can communicate with people through the tree of life. Again, notice the tree is upside down. If something is right side up and spills, that's a big difference if it was flipped upside down. Think about a glass of water. If it is standing straight up and some spills out, the force isn't as violent or fast in comparison to if the glass of water is flipped completely over to let all the water fall out. God said that he will shake the heavens and Satan will be cast to the earth with 1/3 of the angels, meaning they will be cast out with violence. They are telling you in an occult way what is going to happen.
Right.
Now we know that for born again believers, the tree of life is the Lord Jesus Christ. This tree of life in this video is not our tree. This tree is Satan. They are telling you that the Antichrist is about to come. And they want him.
All right, Edward. So what are we watching right now?
Right now, we have a military formation of, looks like the workers. They look like they're in a mining outfit, wearing blue hats, and they're marching in a military formation, almost like zombies. They're very slow.
All in orange jumpsuits here. Not like zombies. They are marching like zombies.
Yes, they are zombies.
This is
My fault.
like an army of zombies, and these represent the workers that were in the tunnel.
Oh. Yes, the workers in the tunnel. And as you mentioned previously, before we started airing this, the 9 miners who died. They work tirelessly. If you actually look at the details for this, will be in the article. 49,000 hours, 3 shifts a day for 17 years straight. Miners worked tirelessly on this portal, rather this tunnel digging.
A lot of people died in the making of this portal too, y'all.
Deeper than.
Okay, so right now the miners, the zombie miners, let's call them zombie miners. Now they ran across the stage. This is outdoors. This is the outdoor ceremony. You see the Swiss Alps in the background, and there is a huge video screen. They're showing men falling off the cliffs, off the rocks.
Right. It looked like they're constructing the tunnel. It represents maybe people have gotten hurt and things like that during the construction period.
It's after this where it starts to get, I mean, it's already weird with the zombies. But after this part, it gets very strange because, well, let's just go ahead and tell them. Lucifer himself appears on the screen.
After they finished the construction, the initial breaking through for the tunnel.
All right, so so now they're breaking through. This is what's important. They broke through the rock. The rock just fell away on the screen. It's what.
Hey, hold on real quick. Oh, we got Nakfa on the panel. You want to say something real quick, family?
Man, salam, and wanted to say that I picked up that fire Bible, Dead Sea Scrolls. So I'm busting that down.
Yeah, the Dead Sea. This fool over here talking about the Dead Sea Scrolls of Bible. Yeah, okay.
He said that's the oldest Bible.
Man,
the oldest Bible, the Dead Sea Scrolls, with all his commentaries and Greek innuendos.
Yeah. Well, he went and cried. They canceled the debate, right?
Oh, he looked crazy. That's what happens because they seen how he looked in the room last night, and they said, "Nah, man, we can't have you up on there, man. You look crazy on Nate's space, on JJ's space, and then you trying to, that's a bad look for HOK."
Yeah. Get your ass up out of here, man. I'm sick of your goddamn wicked ass nigga. You
that debate though. The community needed that debate.
Huh?
I said the community needed that debate, though. That was a good debate. Like, I don't care what nobody to say. That was gonna be a good debate.
No, it was gonna be I was gonna mop the floor with the dude. That's what was gonna happen. And Judah cried about it. Judah can act a fool with his shirt off and screaming and yelling and talking about sucking dinglings and stuff.
It helps the debate. That's what they are about. They never was, and that's
not Mardi Gras, but they're carnivals. Their last one they had Satan on the float, so yeah, they do that. Russia, I guess you got Putin over there looking at Black Madonna or whatever, and then you got India. So B is Brazil, R is Russia, I is India, C is China, and S is South Africa. Okay. Now, recently they said that Ethiopia and Egypt was thinking about joining in Iraq. Or Iraq or Iran, one of them. All right, but the main ones, just in their names. All right, you got 1.5 billion people in China. You got 1.5 billion people in India. All right, and there's only 8 billion people on the planet, so that 1.5 and that 1.5 makes 3, and then South Africa, including Russia and Brazil, you making up for almost half of the world, going against the U.S. dollar, because the U.S. dollar has been the main world currency. So when you're going against what our dollar, they're going against it. That's what BRICS is. It's an alliance, and they're going against the U.S. dollar to try to stop the domination of the U.S. dollar. All right, so that's what he's talking about when he said BRICS. Well, all right, let's go ahead and get back to the video.
Okay. All right. Anybody else before we start back? All right, we good. Okay. Back to the video.
Hey, could you pause the video for a second?
Comes out of that mountain that is so freaky because it's Lucifer that appears.
Yes.
He comes out of this mountain. I'm telling you, folks,
Karema.
in all the years of True News, now the zombie workers are taking their clothes off. They're taking.
Right. They're disrobing.
Okay, so is this Hillsong? What are we watching now? Is this Hillsong Church?
Swiss version of Hillsong.
This is Hillsong Switzerland. Hillsong CERN.
We should point out it's both male and females.
Yes.
And they're disrobing. They're basically down to their underwear.
Why would Lucifer? Why would Switzerland use an image of Lucifer coming out of this tunnel, out of this mountain?
Well, there's history on this particular point of geography, and Edward can enlighten you on that.
Yeah, so there's actually above the mountain point of this, there's something called the Devil's Bridge.
Okay, and I'll just point out right now, the workers are down to their underwear. This is outdoors in front of the public. The zombie workers are now stripped down to their underwear, and it's becoming more ritualistic as we go. But go ahead, Edward, tell us the history.
Yeah, so there's this bridge above where the actual tunnel, the hardest point of the tunnel, the point where they had to dig through 73 different kinds of rock to get through. This, up until the 1100s, was unpassable. It was actually a point where Switzerland would control their invasions from the north. There was a choke point, kind of like the fiery gates, the gates of Thermopylae that are described in the Spartan 300.
Right.
Now, with this, the folklore tale is that the townspeople next to this passing point, they made a deal with the devil. And this deal, essentially, they couldn't do it by themselves. So they said, hey, devil, will you build this bridge for us? Will you build a bridge that we get across this? The devil said, I will do this, but you have to give me the soul of the first thing to cross this bridge. Now, the devil thought that it was going to be a human. The townsfolk actually tricked the devil in this folktale, and they sent a goat across. Well, when the goat crossed, the devil killed the goat. It was incredibly angry, and he picked up a very, very large rock. He was going to use this rock to throw and break the bridge, but one of the townfolk, who was a believer in Christ, drew a cross on the rock. And this rock, actually, before they started building this tunnel, was at the point at this bridge up until 1976.
Hold up, real quick. I'm sorry, Indigenous, but I got a troll in the chat. So, since your daddy ran, Jeremiah, you meet me Sunday on Taharka Bay channel. I dare you. I dare you. Same topic. I dare you. Since you one of his little minions and Judah went and cried to Sarnetta and just cancel the damn debate.
Swiss garb of red and white with large sticks. Now they're horns, aren't they?
Yes, and then and look, the devil is right there. And now the devil has emerged in the back of the formation as a goat. He's wearing a goat head, like a ram.
So wearing a goat outfit with the ram's horns and everything.
I saw him. All right, so now there's Lucifer now as a goat. And he's coming out now, and he's furious. And what are these people in the?
They seem to be like bushes, like hay.
Yeah, like these bush people. When I say bush people, I mean like people that look like bushes.
Yes. They're draped in wheat, like it's a gold-colored wheat, almost like swamp ghouls. And on the screen now, the video screen in the back, there's an
image of Satan on the screen.
Ghouls.
The video screen in the back, there's a transposed image of the devil, the goat man, and they put like a fire behind it. It looks again, look, the devil is coming out of that portal.
Right. So you got a guy, an actual person on the stage dressed as a goat, who is portraying Satan.
You see the Egyptian scarabs there?
Yes.
Yeah. What are those things?
Those are Egyptian scarabs. Those are for devouring the dead.
All right. I thought, what are these beetles? They look like three big beetles.
They're Egyptian scarabs.
And there's three of them, just like there was three spirits and the three miners that got sacrificed in the beginning.
Man, Doc, I didn't know you knew so much.
I read.
I just thought they were big green beetles. Like, what is this about? But Lucifer is
So now there's
in
a
full view on the stage, and now he's turned into
portal of eyes now.
Yes, like all eyeballs now. That's the only thing is on the screen are eyeballs that are circulating.
And there's trumpets now playing to the left and right of the center stage, where you have the devil dancing with these swamp bush people. But there's trumpets, almost about 50 trumpets lining the stage. People are blowing them. They look like mountain trumpets, but they're gold. And as you hear right now, you hear the devil screaming as he's running around with the...
I'm back. Did you need me to stop at anything or keep it going?
No,
okay.
The white guard
herb
spirits.
Now, the what'd you call them? Swamp ghouls.
Swamp ghouls.
That's pretty good.
Right now, it looks like Satan has captured one of these spirits or whatever, and
hold up.
Doing unspeakable things to them.
Now, hold up. Let me line, Lucky. I mean, what are you talking about? They telling you the truth about what's going on. What you got a different perspective? I mean, you've been kind of acting funny since I put the LGBTQ up here, brother. I mean, if that's your way of life, man, I mean, hey, I ain't got nothing to do with none of that, man. Don't be coming over here reporting us and shit. Now.
Saying what CERN is.
I go over there.
I had the wrench. It's not.
What I want people to understand is there are powerful leaders in the world, in the Western world, because I think this is really confined to the Western world. They are begging Lucifer to come out of the abyss. And I know many of you listening to me right now are saying, Rick, you're exaggerating it. You're trying to scare me.
I wish we were making this up.
This is deeply disturbing.
I'm telling you, after Hillsong, this Hillsong Church is nothing compared to this. But then I wouldn't be surprised next week Hillsong does this on their stage. But they're calling for Lucifer to come out of the abyss. You have any idea, Edward, what this woman is?
So I reached out to my friend on this. It's Italian, but it's babble. It's not actual words. She's singing a very old song. It's a mix between Italian and ancient Germanic.
That's what I was going to say. It's a dialect that only the Luciferians
there you
know.
Go.
And then we go back. Ancient Germanic was used during a time when Germany was conquered by paganism, by ancient animal worship and nature worship, which is what we're seeing currently on the screen. We're now seeing people come out with branches in hand and draped like old.
You see the old
clerics,
the old priests, the old animalistic priests that are on the screen.
This is raw paganism.
Druids.
Well, what is that woman? Like she's wearing antlers.
Antlers on her head.
Antlers. Yeah. And these people, these dignitaries, are sitting there in the audience watching this.
Well, that lady looks very scared. One of the ladies right there, you look in the audience, she's baffled by what she's seeing right now.
She must be the only Christian there.
And just a reminder, Merkel is there. Who else is there?
Francois Hollande from France, the Prime Minister of Italy.
The Swiss president.
Yeah, this is very pagan right now. This is like right out of...
Go ahead.
Did you hear that?
What, the Prime Minister of France is there? Yeah.
They're in the audience watching this shit.
Oh, for sure. Now, the Prime Minister of France, and then...
European dignitaries are sitting in the audience.
They know what's going on.
Watching this shit.
Yeah. Bilderberg, all of them in there. What's the other one? You got the Bilderberg, all them people there. Sure.
Well, they gave names.
Mm-hmm.
Rewind it just a little bit, like maybe 15 seconds, so we can hear them say the names of the people who France Hollande or the guy from France.
So guess what? Guess what? Okay, now this was a couple of years back. I forget what year, but now they took it to another level. They got they're marking they did this right here. Now the Olympics is in France, or where's that this year? Isn't it in
Paris, France?
Right.
Paris.
See, all this is connected. Hold up, let me see. Let me rewind it.
That's why I'm doing the presentation.
Yeah. All this is
That's why I put them together.
Right. Good look. Okay.
Hollande from France, the Prime Minister of Italy. Must be the only Christian there.
And just a reminder, Merkel is there. Who else is there?
Francois Hollande from France, the Prime Minister of Italy.
The Swiss president.
Yeah, this is very pagan right now.
You got to think about it. And then there's every nation in the world helped build this tunnel, helped build this collider. You know, so yeah, they claim they can't work together, but they also can come together, work together on this shit. Every nation.
The scientists are from all over the world too.
Right.
And they were a part of. Some of the scientists were dancing in these demonstrations.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
Science. Our top minds are, science. You keep on promoting science and how good it is, and it's our friend. And look at what our top minds is doing over here in fucking Switzerland.
Hey, brother, Indigenous, did you read? I posted an article on my X. Harvard graduates from Harvard and from the University of Montana have been working on this theory, right? But it's more than a theory. And that first they say that they've already discovered that aliens or outer different beings have already been among us. And these are Harvard graduates. These aren't just your regular degulars, right? And we're talking about a quote unquote prestigious, for them. So, and they've already been talking about this.
Wait a minute. Remember I told you, Yale had the slave. They just named him the Moor. Okay? He killed himself. They boiled his bones and hung his skeleton up in the school. These motherfuckers was involved in slavery too, so I would not give Harvard, Yale, Cambridge, any of them no more credit than I do somebody off the street. Because, like I said, their goal is to get you there, make you a debt slave right after high school, and then you don't get a job in your field. Most people don't even get a job in the thing that they went to school for. So they're paying for that college that they can't really use for the next 30 years. And how are they so good and how are they so great?
Right. No, I hear you. I'm just saying what. Right. But when we look at, for instance, right, it's about the institution itself, where it sits. When we look at these quote unquote elite universities, they're actually sitting on historical places, right, that have a lot of energy. So when I'm bringing them up, it's to say that, not to say that they have more knowledge than the average Joe if the average Joe is doing his own research, because at the end of the day, it's on us as individuals. But what I'm saying is that these individuals at the head, right, at the head of these universities have been known. They're funded and founded off of everything that goes against the book. 100%. That's what I was trying to connect.
And show them how the schools is a part of it, the government is a part of it, your banks are a part of it. All of these things work in conjunction. And this is America's a corporation. And so that's you're right on point though, brother. All right, let's get back to this. But now you know that the European dignitaries are watching this shit, just like King Charles pulls up at the Paris. Snoop Dogg is over there, singing and doing his jig.
They got Snoop Dogg.
Peyton Manning is over there. It's not just, you know what I'm saying? And this is the narrative that they push, and they're pushing it, and they're helping to push it.
Yeah, they got Snoop Dogg wearing the Baphomet. I got that video up. We can show that next. He's trying to make an excuse. And no, this represents the GOAT. I'm the greatest of all time. Nah, nigga.
Well, okay, all right. Now listen. Now why is that? Now you see the GOAT man here, right? That's the Baphomet. Let's say, all right. But they're saying it's Satan. Okay. Yeah. But let's ask ourselves, why are they promoting the GOAT? Why are they promoting the Baphomet? I got videos in behind it. Hold on. I got videos in behind this one that's going to show it. But why are they promoting the Baphomet at this point in time in our life? You want me to tell you why? Because the Baphomet has breasts and a penis.
Right. Right.
The Baphomet is a tranny.
Yep.
You see?
Yep.
And then we're out here calling each other the goat. I ain't no damn goat. I heard Kurt Franklin say, now Jesus is called the Lamb of God, being the sacrifice, the spotless sacrifice, and the Lion of Judah. I heard Kurt Franklin say, the lion and the lamb will lay down to the goat in a rap.
Wow.
Okay?
Damn.
So even that little fruit booty eyeliner wearing half a motherfucker is promoting this bullshit too. So anyway, let's get back to the video.
You know, he recently came out. You know that. You know, he recently just came out. I seen a video about it today.
Hey, could you stop it?
All right, yeah, Karima, see, that's where I was showing JJ these, the Celtic worship. They're worshiping Satan all over there in the East, how all this ties in. And we're talking about it, and he seems to understand, but now today he's calling himself the goat, which I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's having fun with it. I know our brothers don't really mean, but I hope he doesn't mean, the Baphomet or none of that stuff, but this is the reason why I showed that. And, to show that we had already went over this stuff, a little bit. We touched on it. You hear me telling about, what they were doing there, and you have the European dignitaries in the audience watching. This shit is wicked. Okay, and we need to see these things. But yeah, I sent you the other one, Karima. I sent you the next one, sister. So whenever you're ready, we can line that one up. Oh no, Water Blue. I don't have no family in New Jersey, brother. Well, peace to Water Blue. What's going on, brother? And everybody in the chat. I can't.
Send it to the other
Let
account.
me see if I can. I just sent Karima that thing. I'm on Facebook right now. Hold on. Let me see if I can see who's all in the chat so I can say what's up to everybody. Because like I said, we just learning. We're all learning together.
Yeah, I didn't get whatever
some people will take this from it, and some people will take that from it. But take something from this video. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, this is going directly against the scriptures, directly against God, and they're making up their own madness. And it's this Greek madness that we all seem to be under, and emulating Greek and Roman ancient civilizations and their deities and their deity worship, and worshiping the beast and things of that nature. So we got to be careful, family. You know what I'm saying? We definitely have to be careful on what we align ourselves to in these next couple of videos. If you didn't understand where I was coming from right there, these next couple of videos will straighten you right on up. All right? So ask the sister if she's ready. Brother Apollo.
Are you ready, Sister Karima?
No. I've been saying he has not sent it to this account yet. You have to let him know that.
If you gotta put it to your other account, he has to send it to your other account.
Yeah, the one he been sending it to, because I think he sent it to the other account because I don't see it here.
One with the minus sign or the one without?
The one without, the one he just sent the last video I just played.
Getting hit it over to you right now.
I got it.
He said he saw it. He just sent it.
Yeah, while I'm pulling up the videos, do y'all have anything y'all want to say about the video and the information that I already presented the people that's on the panel? So you good? Y'all like the information? Y'all don't want to add nothing? All right.
I was on mute. My fault. Yeah, I feel like this is some interesting information, and things like this need to be brought to the forefront because, when you're doing your study, and you sometimes you don't pay attention what the other people of the world is on to, and as we see, they're on some high level type of I can't use no cuss words, but y'all know where I'm going with it. Like so, I'm just saying that things like this need to be brought to the forefront.
Worshiping. This all goes back to Saturn, just like I said. And these videos are going to show in depth more to what I'm saying. I know it's still kind of a little blurry for y'all right now because it was for me when I was, because like I said, I'm on my learning process right now, right along with y'all. And I thank God for this brother here. So let's go ahead and watch it. Seems like Creamer got us queued up. So let's go ahead and watch it and check it out, okay?
One for the initiated and one for the profane or uninitiated. This was the case with the Knights Templar, who had an inside esoteric or occult doctrine, and the other was the exoteric, which was presented to the outside, and that was Catholicism. The public masses received the version of the religion which lacked an understanding of the deeper symbolic meaning. So therefore, it was just the outer veneer of the faith. To the occult insiders or adepts, Lucifer, which was translated to light bearer in Latin, was not detested but revered, and in some versions considered a son of Aurora, the Latin word for dawn, and personification of an earlier Proto-Indo-European goddess called Eos to the Greeks and Hossos to the Aryans. Her origins stretch into prehistory, but we know she was associated with the rising of the sun, likely rode a chariot pulled by horses. We know she was beautiful, a symbol of love and insatiable sexual desires, as well as fertility and eternal rebirth. Her name means east, which to the Anglo-Saxons is Ostra or Istra, the Old English word for April, which was celebrated with a feast in her honor and was appropriated by the Christians as Easter, the celebration of the resurrection of Christ. As a spring festival, it remained associated with fertility and birth or rebirth in the mysteries. The modern symbols of Easter, such as eggs, rabbits, and flowers are relics of this ancient association with fertility and new beginnings. In Old German, the name of April was Ostermonat. The goddess was Astara, a pagan holiday that celebrates the spring equinox. Catholicism is based, in large part, on pre-Christian mystery schools. For example, the seven sacraments are similar to the seven initiations in Mithraic mysteries, which also had Eucharist and baptism. So, in an astrotheological context, Lucifer is associated with the planet Venus, which in Greek mythology is Hesperos in the evening, son of the dawn goddess Eos, or Aurora to the Romans, and half-brother of her other son, Phosphorus, the morning star. In Revelation 22:21, Jesus identifies himself as the morning star, which is also a term used to describe Lucifer.
Okay. I'm a Christian, sir. I'm pure and virtuous and wholesome and innocent. How can you say anything bad about me?
Sir, you need to be born again.
I am born again.
Now, did you just say that you are Lucifer?
I am Lucifer.
Okay, define Lucifer for me.
Pure, virtuous, wholesome, innocent individual that's out to help people.
Lucifer is?
Yeah.
Say that again. Lucifer is a pure, holy...
Virtuous.
Virtuous. Now, is he the Lucifer that God created?
That's the same one.
Oh, man, this is great. I'm going to put this on the internet.
Oh,
Amen.
God bless you,
Amen.
brother.
Because that's exactly what the Shriners and Masons teach, is that Lucifer is light.
No.
And you're
What about
confirming
those hospitals?
You know what, sir? Jesus said, many will say to me on that day, Lord, Lord, we did not do these good deeds in your name. And you'll say, away from me, you workers of iniquity. I never knew you.
Jesus said it?
In Matthew chapter 5.
Mercy.
No.
That's hard to believe.
So you're a Christian and you don't know that. Actually.
No, I really am.
You are.
Because I'm pure and virtuous.
You're pure and virtuous, okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, you're perfect without Jesus, right?
No.
Okay, tell me about Jesus. Who is Jesus?
Right. He's my leader.
Is he the Son of God?
Yes, he
is. Is he the only worshipful master?
Yes.
Have you ever been called worshipful master?
No, because I've just been too busy. I've been working.
Working.
Been working to help people.
What
like
kind
you.
of work? Okay.
Get out of here.
See, this is what a Mason confesses, is that Lucifer is light.
Stop smashing Amazon's buy button and start getting Amazon to pay you instead, but not by selling physical products. Do you
Flammas eius, Lucifer matutinus inveniat. Ille in quam Lucifer, qui nescito casum, Christus filius tuus, qui regressus ab inferis, humano generis serenus iluxit, et tecum vivit et regnat in saecula saeculorum.
Lucifer was a journal published in 1889 by Madame Helena Blavatsky, founder of the Theosophical Society. The journal published articles on philosophical, scientific, and religious topics, including the Kabbalah, which Blavatsky insisted was part of an ancient mystery passed down since remote antiquity, long before it reemerged as Jewish mysticism, predating all Abrahamic faiths. Quote, the mysteries of the Jews were identical with those of the pagan Greeks, who took them from the Egyptians, who borrowed them in their turn from the Chaldeans, who got them from the Aryans, the Atlanteans, and so on, far beyond the days of that race. Composed towards the end of the 13th century, the Zohar emerged in southern France and Spain as a foundational text of Jewish mysticism, which, among other things, facilitated a way of understanding the esoteric context of passages in the Bible, such as the part of Genesis where the serpent tempts Eve with the forbidden fruit. According to the Zohar, the serpent reveals that touching the fruit but not eating of it will not result in death or spiritual slumber, but instead open her eyes and make her like the Elohim, or like God. To Kabbalists, the forbidden fruit is the orgasm, which results in a loss of life force unless the sacred act is performed in a way where the orgasm is attained, but the vital essence is not lost through climax. This is known in the East as White Tantra and was one of the alchemical practices known to the Templars a century earlier. The 12th century was the century of the Crusades, when thousands of men from all over Europe were leaving for the Holy Land. It was the century which saw the dissemination of the Grail legends throughout Europe. Incidentally, Europe is named after Europa, a Phoenician princess from Tyre, a city located just 12 miles from the modern border of Israel. The Templars believed that they descended from bloodlines that fled into Europe after the destruction of the temple, and part of their crusade, while reclaiming territory in the Levant, had to do with retrieving esoteric Kabbalistic doctrines allegedly hidden below the Holy Temple. Besides their famous Red Cross, they revered another sacred magical symbol, allegedly passed down to Solomon from the Aryan Magi, or magicians, that were rumored to have helped him build the first temple. The Knights Templar were accused of worshipping an idol known as Baphomet, which is a word that reveals its true esoteric meaning when written in Hebrew and interpreted with what is known as the Atbash cipher, where the first letter of the alphabet is substituted for the last, the second for the second last, and so on. When applied to the word Baphomet in Hebrew, which is written from right to left, it reads as the Greek word Sophia, that translates into wisdom in English. As for the goat head associated with Baphomet, it is simply symbolic of Capricorn, the zodiac sign affiliated with Saturn, who rules over the latter part of the year during harvest time and Saturnalia, or what has come to be known as Christmas. We still see the Yule goat in many parts of Europe around the winter solstice, symbolic of spiritual rebirth and liberty, as articulated by Aleister Crowley. Quote, "The devil is historically the god of any people that one personally dislikes. This serpent, Satan, is not the enemy of man, but he who made gods of our race, knowing good and evil. He bade know thyself and taught initiation. He is the devil of the book of Thoth, and his emblem is Baphomet, the androgyne, who is the hieroglyph of arcane perfection. He is therefore life and love, but moreover, his letter is Ein, the eye, so that he is light, and his zodiacal image is Capricornus, that leaping goat whose attribute is liberty." That said, Sophia was the goddess of wisdom and considered to be the bride of God. In a Kabbalistic context, internal wisdom, or gnosis, means knowledge in Greek and implies an intuitive internal knowledge, which is equated with light. The Templars were Kabbalists, which according to 33rd degree Freemason Albert Pike predates Judaism and all Abrahamic faiths. And it is in this context that Lucifer is symbolic of divine spiritual light or wisdom. This inner light is activated through Tantra or sacred sex, which means that through the act of semen retention, the orgasm is separated from the expelling of one's vital essence and is instead amplified, prolonged, harnessed, and transmuted into more refined creative and spiritual energy, known in the East as chi or prana, and in European and alchemical societies as vril. Stanley Kubrick was an initiate into the ancient mysteries and would often reveal this guarded esoteric knowledge to the public through his films. One example is in this short clip from the 1964 movie Dr. Strangelove.
Comfort, yes, comfort my people, says your God. I believe these words of Isaiah are a timely message for the church around the world. This war and the constant attacks we've endured have displaced families and brought trauma to our country. Outside Israel, the rapid rise in anti-Semitism around the world has shocked our people as we faced riots and attacks. No place seems safe. It's at this time I believe God is calling the church to stand up and comfort his people Israel. Unfortunately, I believe many in the...
Tell me, Jack, when did you first develop this theory?
Well, I first became aware of it, Mandrake, during the physical act of love.
Huh.
Yes, a profound sense of fatigue, feeling of emptiness followed. Luckily, I was able to interpret these feelings correctly. Loss of essence.
Huh.
I can assure you it has not recurred, Mandrake. Women sense my power, and they seek the life essence. I do not avoid women, Mandrake.
Yeah.
But I do deny them my essence.
Yes.
Eliphas Levi, author of The Mysteries of Magic, who says, quote, "What is more absurd and more impious than to attribute the name of Lucifer to the devil, that is, to personified evil? The intellectual Lucifer is the spirit of intelligence and love. It is the Paraclete. It is the Holy Spirit, while the physical Lucifer is the great agent of universal magnetism." In her book, The Secret Doctrine, Helena Petrova Blavatsky says, quote, "Lucifer represents life, thought, progress, civilization, liberty, independence. Lucifer is the Logos, the serpent, the savior." Another 33rd degree Mason, Albert Pike, is quoted as saying, "Lucifer is divine and terrestrial light, the Holy Ghost, and Satan at one and the same time." In this context, the light bearer is not a person with a pointy tail in a fiery pit, but a force of nature which has potential for what, from our perspective, could be defined as good or evil. In his book, Morals and Dogma, Albert Pike once again says, quote, "Lucifer, the light bearer, strange and mysterious name to give to the spirit of darkness. Lucifer, the son of the morning, is it he who bears the light, and with its splendors intolerable blinds the feeble, sensual, or selfish souls? Doubt it not." Another proponent of this line of thought is author and honorary 33 degree Mason Manly P. Hall, who goes on to say, quote, "When the Mason learns that the key to the warrior on the block is the proper application of the dynamo of living power, he has learned the mystery of his craft. The seething energies of Lucifer are in his hands, and before he may step onwards and upwards, he must prove his ability to properly apply this energy." In Slavic folklore, the goddess sisters of the dawn are called Zoria or Zarya. They live in the palace of the sun, open the gate for him in the morning so that he can set off on a journey through the sky, and are also described as virgins. Associated with the color red, the goddess of the morning was linked with saffron and roses, which also embody the glowing hues of the dawn. The rose was also the primary symbol of the feminine archetype, the great goddess, and the soul. In the Christian tradition, the rose was associated with the Virgin Mary, along with the Rosa Mystica and the Hortus Conclusus, or enclosed garden. And in the Gnostic and alchemical tradition with Sophia, or divine wisdom in Greek, the feminine aspect of God and the Holy Spirit.
Attention retirees, if you're willing to be at your computer from 9 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. on most weekdays, I can show you one simple trade that could potentially bankroll your retirement.
Lucifer only referred to Venus in the morning, before sunrise, hence the term lightbringer and morning star. Venus in the evening and morning were likely thought to be different planets, hence they were given different names represented by different gods. It became associated with a fallen angel descending from heaven to rule the underworld, which is seen as comparable to the motion of Venus in the sky and appears in several Near Eastern mythologies, which mimics Satan's fall from heaven. Another example from mythology is Persephone, goddess of spring, who was abducted by Hades to become queen of the underworld, until she's eventually reunited with her mother Demeter, goddess of agriculture and harvest, to start the spring cycle all over again. This story of Persephone is central to the Eleusinian mysteries, which involved psychedelic intoxication, which allegedly aided in altered states of consciousness and facilitated divine mystical insights and divination to occur. This brings us to the topic of the Vatican, with the Vatican regarded by millions as a symbol of Christianity. But what is the ancient history of this location in Italy, and what are the origins of its name? In actuality, the Vatican is neither Latin nor Greek, and it cannot be traced to the Bible either. While the word Vatican is associated with the Church, it predates Christianity and is closely linked to the Etruscan goddess Vatica. Located in Rome, the Vatican is a symbol of the Roman Catholic faith, and as a city-state was founded on February 11, 1929, as the world's smallest independent country by both population and area, with a population of around 840 and an area of about 108 acres, but with an influence over millions of people that span the globe. Yet, as with many other Christian traditions and customs, the Vatican has a pagan origin, and about 3,000 years ago, the Etruscans settled the region of central Italy, known as Etruria, and ruled that part of the Mediterranean before the rise of Rome. The Etruscan nobility were known as Rutuli or Rutulians, which means the red ones, with the meaning of the blonde ones. They were a legendary tribe, like the Phoenicians, which also means red in Greek, and the ancient Aryans, all of whom revered the swastika. The first kings of the Roman Empire were Etruscan, with many of them having blonde hair and blue or gray eyes. Of course, the Roman Empire famously had red shields, which incidentally is what Rothschild translates to in English, as they were the official bankers of the papacy, which is a covert continuation of the empire. Their capital city was about 20 miles southeast of modern Rome, and they allegedly used Rome as a burial and place of sorcery, divination, and other ritualistic activities associated with the mysteries. While most of the Etruscan literature and mythology has been lost, we do know that they built a large cemetery on a hillside slope outside their ancient city in the area that later became the city of Rome. And the guardian of this necropolis was the Etruscan goddess Vatica, goddess of the underworld, whose duty was to keep a watching eye on those who had passed away. It seems that the Etruscan beliefs about the afterlife were similar to those of ancient Egyptians, where treatment of the deceased remains was important for survival and a successful journey to the next life. According to Etruscan mythology, Vanth was a death demon that attended from the moment of death until entry to the underworld, usually depicted with wings and had bearded snakes entwined around her arm. In addition to being goddess of the underworld, Vatica was also a bitter-tasting grape used to make wine that grew on the slope. When people ate it, they experienced hallucinations and a word passed on into Latin as a synonym for prophetic vision. The Latin word Vaticaner means foretell or prophecy, from vadis, poet, teacher, oracle. So while according to the Catholic Encyclopedia, the origin of the name Vaticanus is uncertain, other sources claim that it comes from the ancient Etruscan language, and the Vatican Hill takes its name from the Latin word Vaticanus, alluding to the drug-induced oracles, or fortune-teller priestesses, which delivered their prophecy there in ancient times. The area, which is now St. Peter's, thus became known as Vatican Hill. Another proposed connection to the word Vatica relates to the tika, or dot, of jewelry Hindu women place on their forehead to indicate the third eye, and corresponds to the pineal gland, and also related to psychic phenomena, intuition, and the Hindu sixth chakra. In addition to melatonin, the pineal gland is thought to produce a molecule known as DMT, a powerful hallucinogen, and appears to be related to dreaming and near-death experiences. In Welsh mythology and folklore, especially in Wales, I'm told that migrating geese are sometimes associated with the hounds of hell, supposedly because their honking in the night is reminiscent of barking dogs. The pagan version of hell is not the same as the Christian version, where you get tortured and punished. In the Viking Age, if you didn't die in battle, you would simply just go to hell. The Old Norse word hell, H-E-L, which in Old English is hell, H-E-L-L, derives from the Indo-European word kel. Therefore, both of the words can be translated into hide or cover in modern English. The term is also etymologically related to modern English word hall, and therefore also Valhalla, an afterlife hall of the slain in Norse mythology. In Norse mythology, Hel is also the queen of the realm of the dead, and inside her hall, everything has names associated with misfortunes. For instance, her dining table is called hunger, and the knives are called starvation. In her bedroom, she has her bed called sick bed, encapsulated with curtains called misfortune. In Icelandic sagas, Hel is referred to as a daughter of Loki, described as half blue and half flesh-colored, and plays a key role in the attempted resurrection of the god Balder. She's neither dead nor alive, but rather seems to be in between the two. Her name means hidden and refers to the dead whose souls are invisible to the living, and she shares some parallels with the Etruscan goddess Vatica, goddess of the underworld, where the Vatican gets its name. The Etruscans did not bury their dead inside the walls of their cities. Instead, they built a large cemetery on a hillside slope outside of their ancient city in the area that later became the city of Rome. Vatica had several other related meanings in ancient Etruscan. The name was not only associated with the goddess of the underworld, but the word passed on into Latin as a synonym for prophetic vision. The Latin word Vaticanor means foretell, prophecy, from vatis, meaning poet, teacher, or oracle. So while some argue that the word Vatican literally means divining serpent, even though the word does not appear in the Bible, keep in mind that divination was associated with the ancient goddess, which was also always affiliated with a serpent in pre-Christian times. It's ironic that the Gnostic trance-induced divination associated with the ancient mysteries were declared heretical by the Vatican and punishable by death, when the Vatican itself is literally named after the very location known as the ancient epicenter of oracle divination, sex magic, and drug-fueled orgies. That said, prior to the writings of Snorri Sturluson, the Icelandic mythographer who preserved the Norse sagas, it seems that hell was previously a place and synonymous with the grave, having no supernatural being overseeing it.
Yeah, 36 minutes in the presentation. You got to speak on it. You can't just play everything without at least doing a 2-minute interruption. Yeah.
Hello.
I mean,
Yeah, Karima. See, this is where we're getting to divine feminism. You see how all of these deities are women? We're getting to the divine feminism. You see what I'm saying? And it's showing you how the Vatican is even named after one of those goddesses. And it says it's Christian, but we know it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's some made up BS with this Saturn worship and divine feminism. When you see the black Madonna, you know what I'm saying? It's like Saturn, the sun, or wisdom. They try to say that wisdom, it either she's either like wisdom or she's the wife of God. You see what I'm saying? And the last thing that I put on here, sister, was if you type in Vatican Square from above, you'll see that circle part in there. They say it's a keyhole. No, it's not. If you look at it from above, it's a serpent. The head is the crown where that building was. With that point, that's a serpent's head with a crown on it, and the straight part, and then you got that circle in the middle of the square, right? Guess what? That is showing a pregnant snake with a crown on. So this is a female snake, because male snakes don't get pregnant. This is a female snake. Their courtyard, I guess you'd say. I might be saying it wrong, the square. Their courtyard. Where you see that long straight, and then you got the circle in the middle, and then you see the big building at the top. Well, if you see it from above, it's a pregnant snake with a crown on. So is that divine feminism right there? Because that snake is a girl. Because only girl snakes can get pregnant. So is that a divine feminism of a snake? Of a female snake worship? You can, if you don't believe me, that's all you have to do is look up, the Vatican from above looks like a snake. Looks like a snake with a crown. Okay. All right, Kramer.
The gates of hell are various places on the surface of the world that have acquired a legendary reputation for being entrances to the underworld. Often they're found in regions of unusual geological activity, particularly volcanic areas, or sometimes at lakes, caves, or mountains. Legends from both ancient Greece and Rome record stories of mortals who entered or were abducted into the netherworld through such gates.
Hi, I'm JT, and I made Result Hunter, the search engine for conservatives. Let me just tell you what it does. First of all, big tech right now is run by a bunch of elitist people who all happen to vote the same way and who all happen to live in huge cities on the West Coast. And so Result Hunter takes...
According to Hawaiian folklore, Waipio Valley contains an entrance to the lower world, which is now concealed and hidden from view by sand. Waipio means curved water in the Hawaiian language. In China, Fenggu has a long history in the Taoist tradition of being a portal to hell. Diwu is the realm of the dead, or hell, in Chinese mythology and Buddhism. Diwu is typically depicted as a subterranean maze with various levels and chambers, to which souls are taken after death to atone for their sins that they committed when they were alive. Mount Asoro in northern Japan is said to be an entrance to hell. It's the location of a Buddhist temple and a folk religion pilgrimage destination located in the caldera of an active volcano, and is believed in Japanese mythology to be one of the gates to the underworld. The mountain was once called Usuriyama by the Ainu people, but was gradually changed by the Japanese to Asoru, meaning dread. St. Patrick's Purgatory is an ancient pilgrimage site on the Station Island in Ireland. According to legend, the site dates from the 5th century, when Christ showed St. Patrick a cave, sometimes referred to as a pit or a well, on Station Island that was an entrance to purgatory. Its importance in medieval times is clear from the fact that it's mentioned in texts from as early as 1185 and shown on maps from all over Europe as early as the 15th century. Although the cave has been closed since 1632, several descriptions by early pilgrims survive. They refer to it as a bottomless cave or an enclosed pit. The entrance, which was kept closed and locked, has never been excavated, so we can only rely at this point on these descriptions of the cave. Based on other archaeological excavations, it seems clear that this was probably a very ancient structure. Prague is the capital and largest city in the Czech Republic, the 14th largest city in the European Union, and the historical capital of Bohemia. Nicknamed the City of 100 Spires, it's known for its colorful Baroque buildings and beautiful Gothic churches. Prague was the capital of the Kingdom of Bohemia and the main residence of several Holy Roman emperors, and was an important city to the Habsburg monarchy and its Austro-Hungarian Empire. Located in the forests about 30 miles north of Prague in the Czech Republic is the mysterious Gothic Houska Castle. It was constructed in a remote area in the second half of the 13th century during the reign of Ottokar II of Bohemia. I say mysterious because it wasn't near any available sources of water, and it did not hold any significant strategic importance. Yet the Third Reich occupied the fortress during World War II, and multiple myths exist about their alleged occult involvements there. I don't want to speculate too much about what they were doing, as it was just rumors, but years later, during renovations, the skeletons of 3 SS officers were found, though it is not certain what the circumstances were surrounding their deaths. Folklore states that the significance of its location is due to a bottomless pit, or what some have called a gateway to hell or gateway to other worlds, and that the Bohemian rulers decided to seal up the gateway with a castle. There are legends surrounding this deep hole, with some locals claiming it is an entrance into a subterranean cavern system leading to possibly inhabited realms of the inner earth. It is said that Bohemian rulers decided to seal up the gateway or entrance, and while it is now possible to tour the enigmatic castle, the hole itself is shut off and covered by metal bars. Investigators who have tried to find the bottom have not been able to find one, and the walls inside are covered with some of the oldest paintings in Europe. Most are of demons and dragons being slain. The cellar is named Satan's Office, and it even has a throne embellished with horns and a trident. At best, no one can tell why this castle is here or how long it has stood here. Who built it? Why is it here and why was it built? Nobody can tell you. It is not known if it was inhabited, as there is no trade route through here. We are in the middle of a medieval forest, in the middle of nowhere. It was said that these forests were not even suitable for hunting, but this was a well-equipped castle for its time. Huska is also called the gateway to other worlds. It's here to prevent something from getting out of here, but what was never named. They were called beasts of hell, devilish. They took an inhuman form. It was at the end of the 9th century. At this point, the earth should have broken. A rock should have broken. A hole was created. This hole was described as a gateway to hell. Huska is also called the gateway to other worlds. They were half men, half animals. They were also called non-humans. They hurt people, cattle, and crops. It is written that pilgrims and travelers did not want to come here much later. So they tried to fill the hole. They brought in hundreds of wagons with waste. Each time it was almost done, everything fell inside. At least they closed off the hole.
Go ahead, the people can hear you.
All right, yep. Karima, you see where you were talking about the esoteric craziness that we hear over there all the time. We're talking about the divine feminism. You see all those, deities from around the world. See, this is all infiltrated into our society. And, it's even with Easter, you've seen that. And these are the talking points that they're pushing on us right now, saying the woman, the black woman is God and all this, when they're talking about that, different deities. And we don't really understand what they're talking about. But when you're talking about this divine feminism and esoteric and the darkest minds of the light and all this stuff, this goes right along with Bohemian Grove, where the presidents meet up and the secret societies meet up at Bohemian Grove with that big owl behind them, and they have those private meetings. You know what I'm saying? Probably over there doing all kinds of deviltry and sex magic and craziness. What's up, Marquise? What's up, Vicar? What's up, SMH? What's up, everybody? Peace and love. You know what I'm saying? But this is what we hearing. And this is what's being pushed. And then see the weak-minded, they'll follow right in behind this stuff, thinking that, okay, and then go all the way down to the rabbit hole to Lucifer or Satan is not bad. Sounds like Satan. Oh, you will not surely die if you eat of the fruit. You might have died. You might not die that day. You died a couple hundred years later because God seen fit to give you outfits made of flesh to cover yourself up with, because of the lie that Satan told you. And this is the same lies coming straight from hell, straight out of Satan's mouth. You worshiping this nonsense and and all of these things go right in together. All right, Kramer, do you have the other video that I sent you just a little bit ago?
I'm checking.
Did you get it?
there? Follow?
Kareem.
Yeah, Kareem. Did you get the video? That's what I'm asking. I can't hear.
Like this on mute.
Yeah, no, I gotta go get the video. I'm off the whole screen, so when I'm going to get the video, I can't say nothing to you. So let me pull it up.
Pull it up, Apollo. What do you think, brother? To get a little bit better understanding of where am I going with this video?
Yes, it's pulling up, but I wanted to say how they be talking about Lucifer, the light, and all this good stuff about him that they be mentioning.
Yep. See, all these talking points we're hearing from over there.
Debate.
Right or wrong.
God lied and
You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, we got to be careful, and for us true believers, we're not going to be shaken in our faith. But for our family out here who's not, who's trying to find their way, they could get, get pulled over into that bullshit. Sorry, please forgive mine.
Shalom. Shalom.
Bizzle, what's going on? What's going on, Cherub?
Man, what's going on with you, broski?
Just chilling, brother. Trying to enlighten the people.
Yeah, first off, man, peace to Karima, because she holding it down. I'm glad she put this on for the night. But I wanted to ask you, IBM, who you taking on next? Who the next opponent?
To be honest with you, E-Bizzle, I'm not sure they're afraid of me, brother. I would take on JJ if he wanted to smoke, but he probably. I'm just kidding. I ain't looking for a debate. I'm trying to teach people. I'm trying to teach people some stuff that we really don't even know about. When I'm bringing stuff like stem cells and CRISPR, gene editing, where they can edit your genes and make designer babies. I'm trying to bring stuff like, hold up. I'm trying to bring stuff like, going against what the schools are doing to our kids and what they're programming them to be, programming them to be through, the programming that they're pushed on to be pushed on our kids as we sit back and really don't pay no attention. They're trying to legalize pedophilia as we speak. They're trying to legalize pedophilia. So that's the kind of stuff that I wanted. I'm not worried about debating. I'm just worried about getting the truth out. You know what I'm saying? You can let these guys do the debating. Half the stuff that I'm talking about, they can't even keep up with, E-Bizzle.
But you know what? I told my kid, I told Ariana and Deontay, I said, you know what? Like IBM be saying, I ain't say your name, but in particular, but I said, what some of the brothers be saying, it don't matter who in office, plain and simple, man, you better get your black ass up and go to work. Plain and simple, and you better do this, and you better understand science. And I asked the brother, I said, do you understand how the earth rotates? He say, no, the sun rotate around the earth. I said, no. The earth rotate around the sun. And the nigga, he looked at me like I was crazy. I said, man, God damn. I said, God damn, we got a long way to go. Man, we got a long way to go, bro.
People like you doing shows, man. You got to do a show.
Yeah. I said, I'm gonna get into the ring. Karima. I told Karima. I don't think I think I told JJ. I'm gonna get into the ring and just tell brothers how do you understand when you go to sleep at night, how the moon and how everything is connected, how the days of the week. The brothers, they don't even understand the days of the week. I said, do you understand the days of the week? How we got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. No, they said no. I said, oh, God damn. We got a lot of work to do, brother. You still there? Oh, I think he dropped off.
From that mysticism, and I mean, you know, following the stars has, you know, been around for forever, you know what I'm saying? But when you're putting names to them, names of your gods and all this, and you're worshiping Saturn or, you know, anything, beasts, worshiping, you know, the planets, anything created by God, you're creating the creations of the creator instead of the creator himself, basically is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, and that's what was a problem with these empires, you know, and you have these secret societies and stuff who's ruling, you know, these upper echelons, which they call the elites. You know what I'm saying? That goes right along with L also, elite. Okay, so that's L mixing up in that too. All right, but that's what we're getting ready to get to. So if Karima got that other video queued up, let's go through that. And then E, as soon as we're done, I got 2 more videos after this one. And they're not long.
Yeah.
So
I'm
once we
back
get done with that, we're going to get into it because, like I said, we could talk about this all night because this is the nonsense is being pushed on our people. And they don't have no idea what's really going on. And I'm just trying to, like, what little bit knowledge that I do have. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I will say, IBM, don't get too frustrated, bro. Because I got frustrated so many times over the years, bro. When I asked the brother that question, man, I said, God damn. I said, damn, you don't know that?
Yeah.
I said, man, we got a long way to go, but it's gonna be all good, bro. Hey, I'm gonna drop back down and I'll get back on, bro.
That's right. Just as long as we got E Bizzle out here, we're gonna be all right. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna get this brother on here and doing some presentations because he's a very, very smart, intelligent young man himself.
Oh,
but yeah, Kareem, you got that other video queued up?
I'm gonna drop back down.
It has been said that the Baphomet
all right, brother.
is regarded as a god by various groups and organizations such as the Knights Templar. It is most famously portrayed as a goat-headed deity with a human body, harboring both male and female attributes, an androgen representing perfect balance, a union of opposites, and illustrates the old cryptic saying, as above, so below. The word hermaphrodite, incidentally, comes from combining the words Hermes and Aphrodite. This symbolism is further expressed in the 16th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, the ayin, meaning eye. It's also the 16th letter of the Phoenician alphabet, which gave us the origin of the Greek and Latin letter O. The perfect circle is also symbolic of balance, as well as an ancient and universal symbol of unity, wholeness, infinity, and the goddess energy. It represents the female spirit or divine force. The dot in the center of the circle, in some esoteric occult interpretations going back for many millennia, represents the male force. So combined, the circle and the dot symbolize the spiritual merging of male and female polarities. Ayin is for eye, and indeed its ancient pictograph symbol is that of an eye, which can still be broadly seen on what is popularly known as the Hamza and other places. The word pyramid comes from pyro, meaning fire, and mid, meaning middle. To secret societies and ancient mystery schools, the ayin represents light, whose attribute is liberty, is also regarded as the goat of Mendes. The last Sabbath of the Roman month of December falls on the Germanic pagan festival of Yule, which the Roman Catholic Church transformed into Christmas. It may surprise some Americans to learn that the goat figures prominently in Scandinavian Christmas, still called by its original pagan name of Yule. The origin of the Yule goat goes as far back to pre-Christian days, where goats were linked to the pagan Norse god Thor, who rode the sky in a chariot drawn by two goats. According to Norse legend, when Thor killed and cooked the two goats, their flesh provided sustenance for the deity and his guests, following which Thor resurrects them with his hammer the following day. There are many variations on the common theme. In Finland, the Yule goat was an ugly creature that frightened children and demanded gifts at Christmas to be placated. During the 19th century, its role shifted towards becoming the giver of Christmas gifts. In Finland, as well as the rest of Scandinavia, with one of the men in the family dressing up as the Yule goat. The goat was replaced by Father Christmas, or Santa Claus, at the end of the 19th century. Christmas wasn't even celebrated in the US until the mid-1800s because it was considered a pagan drinking holiday of revelry and, in some cases, orgy.
Christmas trees, candy canes, even Santa Claus seem like they've been around forever. But many of these Christmas traditions are surprisingly recent. Centuries before Jesus walked the earth, early Europeans were celebrating light and birth in the darkest days of winter. In the Norse country, this winter celebration was known as Yule. Around December 21st, the winter solstice, fathers and sons would drag home the biggest log they could find and set it on fire. Also dragged inside were evergreens, the one plant that could make it through a Norse winter. Evergreens proved that life persisted in this dark time.
There's a natural attraction to that which lives through the winter when one is struggling to survive through the winter.
For as long as the Yule log burned, about 12 days, feasting and revelry reigned supreme.
Time to party.
The party raged inside in defiance of winter's deadly howl. In Germany, the pagan god Odin lent his name to this midwinter holiday. Later, we'd see another Christmas sky rider, Santa Claus. 1,000 miles away in Rome, winter was less harrowing, but the December festivals were just as elaborate. 1 week before the winter solstice, Romans began celebrating Saturnalia, a month-long orgy of food and drink. Named for the god Saturn, which meant plenty, Rome's established order was turned on its head during this wild, delirious time.
The Saturnalia celebrations were certainly times of revelry, of turning the social order upside down, of having the master pretend to be the slave and the slave pretend to be the master, sort of a time out of time.
One of the holiday's important feasts was Juvenalia, which celebrated the children of Rome.
Although these early festivals are not necessarily about children particularly, though they are about fertility, children did have their particular place. The indulgence of children, of course, is very much a part of our modern Christmas, but it did have its place even in these ribald, drunken festivals that the Romans had.
Many influential Romans worshipped Mithra, the god of the unconquerable sun. To this small but powerful sect, the birthday of Mithra was the holiest day of the year.
December 25th was the winter solstice in that part of the world. And it was also understood to be the birthday of the sun god, Mithra. And many of those stories, of course, have come into Christian tradition.
Okay, this is the Automatic Course Creator. And if you are looking for the fastest and most affordable way to launch your first or next course, high ticket offer, or online business, you do not want to miss this video. Why? Because what I'm about to show you just might be the greatest breakthrough in digital marketing history. The GrowthWorks Course Creator combines your knowledge and expertise with the latest AI technology and the same proprietary systems that we've used to help over 40,000 course creators, coaches, consultants, and entrepreneurs.
While Romans were worshiping the sun god, a new religion was taking hold throughout the empire. At first, Christians didn't celebrate the birth of Christ. His resurrection was the essential fact of the new religion. By the 4th century, however, the question of the holy birth became impossible to ignore. For Christians, the fact of his birth was settled, but the date remained a mystery. The Bible doesn't mention exactly when Christ was born, but certain facts suggest it probably was not in December. If pagan Rome was already celebrating the birth of Mithra on December 25th, it seemed natural to honor the birth of the Christ child at the same time. By the 4th century, the church made it official. December 25th was declared the feast day of the Nativity. The church knew it could not outlaw the pagan traditions of Christmas, so it set out to adopt them. The evergreens traditionally brought inside were soon decorated with apples, symbolizing the Garden of Eden. These apples would eventually become Christmas ornaments. And holly, a traditional midwinter decoration, was recast to represent Christ's crown of thorns.
People already had their own agenda for this season, and that agenda was not one that was really radically changed when the names got changed from non-Christian to Christian names.
The tension between piety and revelry at Christmas would reach its logical and extreme conclusion in Puritan England, when the holiday would be considered so unchristian it was done away with altogether.
There are several theories as to the origin or etymology of the word Baphomet. One of them argues that a substitution cipher was used in the creation of the word, which substitutes the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet for the last, the second for the second last, and so on. Therefore, Baphomet, rendered in Hebrew with such a cipher, can be interpreted as the Greek word Sophia, meaning wisdom. In this context, the Baphomet carries the same occult meaning as the owl. Let us see what Freemason Aleister Crowley has to say about this, since he was known to sign his name as Baphomet. In his book Magic, Book 4, Crowley asserted that, and I quote, "The devil is, historically, the god of any people that one personally dislikes. This serpent, Satan, is not the enemy of man, but he who made gods of our race, knowing good and evil. He bade, know thyself, and taught initiation. He is the devil of the Book of Thoth, and his emblem is Baphomet, the androgen, who is the hieroglyph of arcane perfection. He is therefore life and love. But moreover, his letter is Ayin, the eye, so that he is light, and his zodiacal image is Capricornus, that leaping goat whose attribute is liberty." We established earlier that the Ayin is the 16th letter of the Old Hebrew and Phoenician alphabets, but in the occult and alternative sciences, there is no such thing as any number past 9. So a 16 is actually 1 plus 6, giving the Ayin the numeric or Kabbalistic value of 7, which incidentally is the true meaning of the G in Freemasonry, as it is the 7th letter of the English alphabet. The motto of the Pythagorean Mystery School is "All is number," and the number 7 alludes to the heavily guarded secrets of sacred internal alchemy, which will be another video. My name is Robert Sepper. Thank you for supporting Atlantean Gardens and for sharing these videos. Please subscribe, and I will see you next time.
Yes, sir. Tell Kramer, hold on just a second. I'll send her the next one. I already sent it to her. Yeah, I already sent it to Kramer. But now, I mean, like I said, it's just getting you to understand where I'm going with this and how all this plays into the same realm. Madam Lebowski and whoever that other dude was, the Freemason dude, and all these people are saying the same stuff. They're using these same talking points, and these are the same talking points that's being pushed on us today. So you got to be very careful. You know, you got to understand that about Christmas. You got to understand about Easter and how, you know, like the Yule log. Like I was telling, I told JJ in that video that I played earlier when I was showing CERN. The Yule log during the Viking times, they sacrificed animals, and now I could be mistaken, but I think I'm on point. They sacrificed animals and humans on the Yule log, and then today we're singing Yuletide carols.
Right, right. But peace, brother, peace. Look, real quick.
And you see how they're adding. You see how they're implementing this into our religion, into our belief system. And then when we go against it, oh, you're going against, you know, you're going against the holidays. You're going against Santa Claus. Yeah, I damn sure am. He represents the owl, and the owl represents the goat, the Baphomet. And the Baphomet is perfect because it has breasts and penis and balls. And, you know, this is that, you know, the male and female spirit, the God and his wife, or, you know, the wife of God, or the mother of heaven, or whatever. All this talk. When God created wisdom, wisdom was referred to as a her. Okay? So I can understand where some people get this. But wisdom was referred to as a her, but God, she's a creation of God. It's a creation, and it's just, you know, and then his word, created by God. His spirit is directly from God. That's him. You see what I'm saying? So these are creations of God, not God, or equal to God. If you're going to try to say that this has got to deal with the wisdom, because it says wisdom, and wisdom is given from God. And that seems like what a lot of these people are lacking when they trying to equate this to, you know, Lucifer's great and he's not bad, and he's the serpent in the garden, and he was trying to help. Come on, y'all.
Yes.
I'm not moving too fast for y'all. Y'all understand exactly what the hell I'm saying. So let's keep on. Let's go on to the next one, please. Number 4, and then we'll only have one more after that, and then we can open up the lines. What's up, Unbiased? What's up, Cooking with Billy? What's up, family?
Hey, look,
okay, Kareem.
Look, IBM, real quick. You hear me?
You got anything you want to say?
Yeah,
Nah, I'm
these
just
dumb
wait till
niggas,
after
they
the
don't even understand
rest of
what
the videos.
369
I'm
come
still
from. You
peeping.
feel me? When I'm trying to tell them 369, without, you know, I told one of my young dogs, well, I get my son on them, but I said, you know what, I'm gonna have to tell Karima, you know what, I'm gonna have to come out the frying pan. I'm gonna have to come out the frying pan. These niggas, they don't even understand when you look at numbers. When you look at 3, 6, 9, those are powerful numbers. When you look at those always equal up to the same number. So when you look at a 9 plus 9 equal what? A 10, right? Or when you look at 9 times a 9, it equals what? A 81. 9 times 72. 9 times 8. 9 times 5 equals 45. It will always equal a 9. That's why you always wrapped up in your mother's womb in a 9. Always. Always, brother. You heard me? Kareem, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, that's why I was just trying to tell brothers. That's why they don't even understand how 369. They say, why you put 369 on your name and this and that? I said, well, you dumb nigga, you slow niggas. Y'all don't even understand why you think you wrapped up like a number 9 in your mama's womb. Why you think the numbers 9 always equal up to a number 9? When you multiply number 9, 9 times 9, 9
Okay,
times
yeah.
11.
Go ahead and play it.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Oh no, is Eric still? Oh, my bad. Look, we only got a couple. We got 2 more videos, brother.
Yeah,
Please write that down because I want to hear all about it. And I'm not trying to cut you off. I'm just trying to get the information, out there, brother, real quick, and then we can build on it. We can,
I'm gonna have to get on the debate,
write that
bro.
down, please. And then Kareem, if you don't mind, go ahead and start the video back up. And like I said, we only got 2 more videos. It ain't even I only think it's a half an hour. Might be right around that time, but that's it. And then we'll be done. All right.
Single, external, almighty God that is all-knowing and all-powerful. Ironically, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam also have esoteric or hidden aspects which certain sects subscribe to that are often regarded as occult or mystical versions of their faith, which do not focus on dietary laws, traditional observances, or rituals overseen by clergy, but rather seek a direct experience of divinity itself, absent of any rabbis, priests, or imams. Religion to be new age. In reality, there's nothing new about it. And in fact, the concept of direct communication with an internal God or higher self predates monotheism altogether, at least during the Holocene, starting with Akhenaten and his worship of a singular divinity represented by the Aten, sun disk or sun god. Madame Helena Blavatsky was the 19th century's most famous mystic, occultist, and medium, co-founding the Theosophical Society in 1875. She aimed for a synthesis of science, religion, and philosophy. Blavatsky taught that within each individual human, there's an eternal, divine facet, which she referred to as the higher self, or inner God, and that uniting with this higher self results in wisdom. When she says wisdom, she's not referring to the kind of knowledge that one acquires through reading books, but rather it is defined as a divine intuition, sixth sense, or inner guidance that is most commonly acquired through entering into an altered state of consciousness. The term for this practice is called mysticism, where one surrenders the ego through various techniques and merges with what some refer to as God and others believe is one's own subconscious mind.
The taxes on a house like that are going to be about $6,000 a year. If those taxes get behind,
an altered state of consciousness is not the only time that one can access the wisdom of the higher self. For example, we've all had the experience of thinking about someone right before the phone rings, and it's the person of whom we were just thinking of. Or during a meeting, an idea occurs to you, and in the same instant, someone else says to everybody that which you just thought. While some dismiss this phenomena as mere coincidence, students of the occult, or Gnosticism, would consider these to be examples of telepathy, the perception and transmission of feelings and ideas at a distance. The English language term telepathy combines two Greek words, tele, which means at a distance, and pathos, which means feeling or suffering. The literal meaning is to feel at a distance. Therefore, the concept of telepathy means much more than the mere transmission of logical and clear-cut thoughts, but includes all kinds of contact between two or more minds, transcending the five senses. In most cases, the phenomena happens in semi-conscious, unperceived, and undesired ways. The goal of Gnosticism is to induce a state where these abilities are amplified and accessed willfully. Gnosis is the Greek noun for knowledge, and the term was used among various Hellenistic religions and philosophies in the Greco-Roman world. In a religious context, Gnosis is mystical or esoteric knowledge based on direct participation with the divine. Gnosticism is the belief that human beings contain a piece of God within themselves, or a divine spark, which has fallen from the immaterial world into the bodies of humans. During the first 3 centuries of Christianity, there was no central authority until after the conversion of Roman Emperor Constantine the Great in 312. Christian communities taught many different views. In the 2nd century, some groups, now collectively referred to as Gnostic Christians, claimed to have access to secret knowledge about the nature of the universe and guarded techniques of how to directly access this sacred knowledge, or wisdom. The Gnostics referred to wisdom as Sophia, which is the Greek word for wisdom. In the Greek translation of Hebrew scriptures, particularly the Old Testament, the name Sophia is given a translation of Chokmah, which means wisdom, and is the name of a figure with feminine features. The Arabic word for wisdom is hikmah, or hakem, which means wise. When Gnostic philosophies entered Europe, practitioners were referred to as the wise ones, which from the perspective of the Catholic Church was considered heresy, which is where the derogatory label of witch comes from the Anglo-Saxon Wicca, meaning wise ones. This is why religious sects that try to hide their Gnostic ideology traditionally put extra emphasis on the reverence for the Virgin Mary, which represents the divine wisdom one acquires through mystical states of consciousness, sometimes acquired through pain, which is called flagellation and is the act of flogging or beating, or through prolonged repetitive music and dancing, or sometimes through drug use. And while there are numerous other techniques, the most notorious and allegedly effective is through carnal acts, which do not result in procreation, but in an amplified and extended orgasmic state of religious ecstasy, where the practitioner is overwhelmed with energetic waves of prana, chi, or vril, terms which describe a universal life force energy that allegedly unlocks dormant abilities of clairvoyance, which is the claimed ability to gain information about an object, person, location, or physical event through extrasensory perception. It is in these altered states of consciousness that ancient civilizations, such as the ancient Greeks, would acquire guidance from oracles, like the famous ones at Delphi, which provided prophetic predictions and guidance through acts of divination. It is through this lens that one should consider the beliefs of the Knights Templar, who revered the Madonna figure, whose black appearance had nothing to do with race or skin color, but was symbolic for this Gnostic trance state, which is the basis for religions that venerate the goddess. According to the Kabbalah, which is considered esoteric Jewish mysticism as it appeared after the 12th century, but really is much older, Chokmah is the 10th Sephirot at the top of the right axis on the tree of life, corresponding to the left eye or the right hemisphere of the brain. Chakma is associated in the soul with the power of intuitive insight. And it's the goal of Kabbalists to extract such insight from the superconscious realm. According to the Hermetic order of the Golden Dawn, the name of God is associated with Chakma. The name of God associated with Chakma is Jehovah. And in the teachings of sex magician Aleister Crowley, Chakma is represented in accordance with terms like tetragrammaton, which is another way of saying Yahweh or Jehovah, which in the occult unlocks the meaning behind astrology, the tarot, the mysteries of the Bible, the Kabbalah, the Enochian magic of John Dee, and even the Germanic esoteric teachings of nationalist Germany, which were opposed to Judaism politically, particularly communism, yet internally practiced the exact same esoteric mysticism in their own occult orders. While many people are quick to dismiss Madame Blavatsky as a Luciferian, which literally translates to light bearer, yet has a negative connotation in modern times, keep in mind that while her work was revered by pre-World War II Germany, this also includes people like Albert Einstein, who also had a copy of her book on his night shelf. The Church Fathers reacted to occult or Gnostic teachings by inventing the twin concepts of orthodoxy and heresy. These concepts did not exist in the ancient world. With the thousands of different native cults in the Mediterranean basin, there was no central authority that determined what people were to believe. Orthodoxy, which means correct belief, and heresy, which is something that goes against accepted religious interpretation or thought, are two sides of one coin. Heretics are called that by those who disagree with them, or in some cases, by those that want a certain esoteric religious or spiritual technology to remain hidden. This is how medieval alchemy came about, where the internal transmutation of raw sex energy was refined into creative or divinely inspired spiritual gold, and externally disguised as the transmutation of base metals into physical gold. The notion that alchemists were atheists that were concerned with materialistic enrichment is false. In regards to early Christianity, the Gnostics claimed that their teachings came directly from Jesus. In those scenes in the gospel when Jesus takes the disciples aside to better inform them, he also allegedly taught secret things that were passed down to them. That said, for most Gnostic systems, Jesus was not incarnated into a physical human body, but rather only appeared in the form of a human so that he could communicate with humanity. If Christ never had a material body, the central pillars of Christianity, the crucifixion, and the resurrection of the dead were nullified. In this sense, Gnostics viewed salvation as an individual matter, rather than involving the rest of the community. In other words, salvation could not be achieved through the cross, church hierarchy, priests, popes, or rules. For Gnostics, the kingdom of heaven is within the individual and can be directly experienced before the passing of one's physical body. The most controversial of Gnostic ritual was the bridal chamber, where one attained Christhood, where the language and metaphors of marriage were applied in a union with Christ. They were the first to practice celibacy and chastity, which, according to esoteric authors such as Samuel Ein Weor, did not originally mean that one should completely refrain from intercourse, but rather one should refrain from expelling one's life force energy externally and instead learn to transmute the energy to nourish the soul or energetic body, which in occult circles is a real thing that needs to be awakened and nurtured. And blind faith is not enough. Helena Blavatsky stated that the published works on the Kabbalah do not contain the inner secrets of the wisdom. The unwritten Kabbalah is transmitted orally and needs 7 keys to unveil them, which is beyond the scope of this presentation. The present Kabbalah, according to Blavatsky, originated from the secret doctrine of the Chaldeans and Egyptians, and that the authentic Kabbalah was to be found in the Chaldean Book of Numbers in the possession of Persian Sufis. This secret knowledge, which can be traced back to the ancient Aryans, was incorporated into the esoteric cults of Islam and known to the German nationalists, who conducted formal government research into the occult while publicly banning all secret societies that had anything to do with Kabbalistic practices. Of course, after World War II, much of this esoteric knowledge is now ridiculed under the guise of academic criticism. After Madame Helena Blavatsky passed away, much of the work of the German branch of the Theosophical Society, which she founded, was championed by Rudolf Steiner, who once said about the constant, unfounded slander of Blavatsky that, quote, "Wherever there's criticism, beneath there is hatred."
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's just a little bit more for y'all, you know. That's taking us to this last video. And, you know, I've been being talked about and one, you know, I'm wondering if, you know, the frequencies are being sent right, or maybe the receptors are too old to get them. Maybe that's why somebody ain't getting no cat. But, yeah, let's get to this next video. It's, I guess, do you have it, Kareem? Do you have number 5?
Not yet.
Because I can tell you it's just,
What's the word, bro?
and I have timestamps for it.
He said, could you type this one in? He said.
Huh?
He said.
Internal alchemy.
You know what, IBM? I think I'm having to
For
go
women.
ahead.
Internal alchemy for women.
IBM. I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and get on the debate panel, bro. Unbiased, where you at? Unbiased, where you at, bro?
Yeah. We
I'm
got
go ahead. I'm gonna have to go ahead and do it, bro. I'm gonna have to go ahead and do it. These niggas slow.
Yeah. You make sure you write some stuff down for the end of this show, though, too. I mean, once we get done this last video, make sure you have some stuff written down, because I'm going to ask y'all, what do y'all think, and what did y'all get out of all of this? And, you know, because like I said, we keep hearing these same terms going around over and over again, divine feminism.
Let me tell you something.
Wisdom is connected somehow to this Egyptian deities with the bullhorn and the sun coming through.
Well, let me tell you. Let me tell you something. Hold on.
Whatever name she has and whatever, you know, land that they, you know, because they're all going off of, you know, Egyptian.
Let me give you something. Let me give you something, bro.
The Greeks went off of the Egyptians' deity worship. The deity worship of the Greeks went to the Romans. They loved it. They loved it, and it's basically. And then, you know, we're still using it today. You see the iris. When you see the iris, you see the iris all over the place. We got the eye. And, you know, and that's all these things are connected in with this Nazism and with this way of thinking, this divine feminism, all these, you know, women deities that are basically, you know, the one was hell, you know, and, you know, they're not good deities, though. You see what I'm saying? But and they're saying that Lucifer and Satan is good and all this stuff. All this shit is wicked, man, and it's lies straight from hell. So we're dealing with that right now, and it's called Internal Alchemy for Women, and it's the same person, Robert Seffer. So, Robert Seffer is under the videos that I've been giving you. It's the same guy.
Can I talk? Can I talk, bro? Can I talk, bro? Can I talk?
Go ahead.
Okay. So one thing about we ain't gonna worry about racist ass Robert Seffer, because we know he a motherfucking goddamn weirdo ass nigga. But one thing we do know is about the scriptures, right? So any nigga that's on here that want to deal with the scriptures, holla at me. You heard? That's real walkie talkie. Give me a matter of fact, the when we talk about wisdom, give me that Proverbs 4:7, IBM, and then kick me over to that 1 Kings 4:33.
What video you talking about?
Fuck that motherfucker, Robert Seffer. He's a racist.
No,
Karima.
don't interrupt this presentation, please. Though.
One more video left, and we'll be done. We can do all that.
Video, then you can start talking. It's the last video. Then you can start talking. What's the name of the video?
It's Internal Alchemy for Women. And unbiased, I hear you laughing there, buddy. Internal Alchemy for Women, Karima. Robert Seffer.
I got you.
And I heard unbiased talking about chemistry back in the day, but they made their own perfumes, they blended metals, and they also had their own paint, which is Egyptian blue, which, they can't even replicate today. So, yeah, there's chemistry, but we're not getting into that. That's not a part of this video. But there's some chemistry for you right there, unbiased, while you was asking on your show yesterday. We can answer questions and run a presentation at the same time. So, Karima, yeah, we're going to start it at 4:48 to 11:37. So, might as well say 7 minutes, okay? 4:48 to 11:37.
In the philosophy of internal alchemy, everything contains a form of energy or essence. So, as we've established, water, in this sense, could be seen as embodying the essence of fertility, growth, intuition, and the yin aspect. It is regarded as both cold and wet. In contrast, its male counterpart is fire, considered dry and hot, and associated with the yang energy. The male essence is represented as an upward-facing triangle, symbolic of fire, while the female essence is depicted as a downward-facing triangle, symbolic of water. When combined, they make a six-pointed star, also known as the hexagram, which when overlapping has 7 internal compartments, as 7 is a sacred number in geometry associated with creation, union, and divine perfection. The Pythagoreans, for example, believed that the number 7 was a union of the physical and the spiritual, and therefore had special spiritual properties. This ancient magical symbol, sometimes referred to as the Seal of Solomon, predated all Abrahamic faiths, as its use as a Jewish emblem began in the Middle Ages, passed on by the Knights Templar, who were Kabbalists, founded in the year 1118 and dissolved in 1312. Much of their guarded esoteric knowledge reemerged as Jewish mysticism with the publishing of the Zohar in Aramaic after the 13th century.
One of the great responsibilities that we have is to
The original Kabbalah, according to occult authors such as Madame Helena Blavatsky and 33rd degree Freemason Albert Pike, was passed on to the Knights Templar in Jerusalem, originating from Greek, Egyptian, and Chaldean mystery schools, retained in certain Islamic Sufi secret orders, but ultimately stemming from the ancient pre-Babylonian Aryan Magi, where we get the term magician from. The Shakya clan of India, to which Gautama Buddha belonged, called Sakyam Muni, or sage of the Shakyas, were Sakas, or Scythians, an Aryan people that historically inhabited the northern and eastern Eurasian steppe, Tarim Basin, and eastern Iran and India during the 9th century BC to 5th century AD, the time frame that Gautama lived and Buddhism began to spread. The pre-Buddhist and pre-Taoist philosophy did not involve worshiping external statues, but instead had to do with attaining higher states of consciousness through mystical esoteric practices, which after the 1st century became known as Tantra in both Hinduism and Buddhism, but influenced other traditions such as Jainism, Japanese Shinto, Tibetan Bon, and Taoism. Shaktism is another denomination popular in India which venerates the goddess and encompasses various tantric sub-traditions, but for now I'd like to focus on technique. One of the Taoist practitioners that teaches internal alchemy is Montauk Chia, largely responsible for popularizing sex energy cultivation to a modern Western audience. In this short clip, he discusses female energetic activation.
I've been teaching this for 45 years, and we have many instructors around the world. Now, for women, as we talked before, you also see that the nipple connecting to men are all the glands in the system. And this is what the Tao believe that. The Westerner, they also can start to see the link and energetic link and the mind link to all the hormones. So when we actually activate, you just rub the hand warm, feel the hand have chi, and rub on the nipple, and you feel the nipple activate. When the nipple activate, if you use your mind link, because you believe the body, the brain, the nervous system have link to everywhere. So if you put your mind link down to the uterus and down to the ovary, now you activate them. And the Tao believe that you make them stronger, healthier, and they started to producing more hormone for lady. That's what we need, okay? And now they are linked from the nipple into the adrenal gland, and that's we call the adrenal, the kidney, and the sexual organ, the gonad. That is the whole package of very important in the Tao. They are producing life force. So we believe that in the Tao said the breast is the one that gives us the sexy energy. Actually, the breast or the nipple is connecting to the glands and connecting to the sex gland. So the Tao believe that if we massage the breast and you're working with the nipple, now the nipple will reactivate we call 9 flower. So we have 1 flower in the nipple, 2 flower, and that is connecting to all the sexual hormone. And from there, it going up into connecting to the thymus gland, to the thyroid, parathyroid, and to salivary gland. That's why we are a lot of saliva come out, and up to the pituitary gland, thalamus, hypothalamus, and the pineal glands. So this nipple in the Tao discovered they're connecting to so much gland, especially the sexual hormone gland, especially the clits. So when you activate this, you can really feel the clitoris activate. So when you work with that, you can feel all the sexual hormone, and you feel, and later on, when you work on them very well, when you make love, when you feel it, or a little bit stimulation, you can feel the whole hormone system stimulate.
So it's like a beginning process of activating and revitalizing the entire endocrine system.
Right.
Another way to articulate this is that to activate and arouse the feminine energy, whether solo or with a partner, one should start with sufficient foreplay. While Montauk has made the case for physiological and neural connections that link to the breast, I would add that it's important to establish the proper psychological conditions for cultivation as well, which starts with creating a safe environment, and if you have a partner, first establishing a closeness through play.
Hey, could you stop it?
Okay. Can you hear me? All right. Yeah, Kareem, but now go to 26:55 to 39 or to 40 minutes. Say 26:55 to 40 minutes. And then that'll be it. And, is achieving it or, okay,
25 years ago.
26:55, yeah, okay, there you go. All right.
They went on to dominate.
Then just tap into someone you've met and kind of tap into their sexual energy and start to experience it that way through that air, through the vagina and through what they call the chakra down in the uterus.
Can I experience them, or can they experience?
No, can you experience other people by tapping into?
I'm very sensitive, yes, so I can definitely feel other people's energy movement in their body. I've worked with couples and with individuals where I never touch them, it's clothes on, but energy can be generated because I can direct it from a distance.
You project your sexual energy, would you say?
Yeah, life force energy, sexual energy, life force energy. And I allow, I call it juiciness or succulent energy to come through and just simply activate the individual. So
and then they're able to take that energy and work with it.
It's really their own energy. So if you understand how vibration works, if you have something vibrating very quickly next to something that's slow, the slow one's going to start to pick up, like boiling water, for instance. It starts to vibrate faster and faster and faster. So that's what happens if I come near you and my chakras are vibrating very high and I actually send that frequency to you, your energy system's going to go up. So your energy will start to vibrate at that level and you'll experience that. So it's not me and it's not you.
Sympathetic resonance is the process of picking up and absorbing another person's energy or vibe. This vibratory concept can be visually demonstrated using tuning forks and a ping pong ball, where a passive vibratory body responds to external vibrations to which it has a harmonic likeness. This explains why some people seem to have a personal magnetism about them, an aura that attracts others, elevating the mood in the room with their mere presence, exuding chi or vril.
Why would you want to do this? As a recipient, as a woman, why do I enjoy being with men who know how to have non-ejaculatory orgasms and who are aware of their energy systems and their bodies? So the connection is really great when you have both partners practicing. So through the Taoist practices of the orbit and the inner smile and these different ways of opening the body, the sexual organs aren't the only thing that's going to contain the energy anymore. So the whole body becomes a container for this life force. And every cell then becomes a part of it, which for me defines more what omni-orgasm is.
Yeah, what's omni-orgasm?
Well, probably some people have heard of multi-orgasm. And multi-orgasm just means many. And usually in a sexual setting means one after another. Omni-orgasm basically just means all orgasmic or all orgasm.
Like all the time. You're always orgasmic.
All meaning all the time, but also meaning more, it's not related to just my genitals. It's not related just to male-female interaction or human interaction. So I start to receive bliss and pleasure through just the act of being alive.
And do you?
Yes, I absolutely do.
And yeah, orgasm has a whole span of possibilities, right?
Exactly.
I mean, everyone thinks it's just this wild explosion of burst.
The Big Bang Theory,
yeah. But it's everything in between that, like from feeling subtle bliss to like, you know,
fully expanded, hour-longs,
But the goal of sex actually isn't orgasm. I mean, in the tantric and the Taoist traditions, that's not the goal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a nice side benefit. But
it's a process-oriented experience rather than a goal-oriented experience.
And that's the kind of sexuality you're teaching and developing.
That's correct, yes.
We're not going anywhere. We're being in the moment together.
Yes.
I think that's very important because
being with ourselves, being with other individuals, being with nature. If you watch nature very carefully, especially now it's springtime, and you see the vibration of life in the trees and the squirrels and the pigeons, everything's getting sexy, everything's preparing for this procreative time. So when you attune yourself to nature, you as well can receive this energy.
The biggest companies in the world are willing to pay big bucks for anyone who's able.
Mythology. The Muses are the inspirational goddesses of literature, science, and the arts. They were considered the source of the knowledge embodied in everything from poetry to inventions. So philosophers and adepts of the mysteries would try to align themselves with these goddesses that were symbolic of higher intelligences that were, in actuality, forces of nature that were not considered as separate foreign entities, but a deeper divine part of ourselves that we all can access, as we're all innately connected to the divine, and therefore the energies of nature around us.
That's an amazing capability. I would think it's possible for everyone to have that.
We're wired to do that,
We are wired to do that, but somehow we've so disconnected from that potential. So if we see something beautiful, we say, oh, isn't that nice? Like, we don't really feel it. It's a visual stimulation, but then how do we bring that into our physiology?
Right. Well, there's a couple things there. One, I think, is people are afraid to really feel. The emotional world is one of the places where we're not really mature as adult species. We're mature physically, mentally, even spiritually. We're encouraged to mature, but not necessarily emotionally.
Well, what does that mean, emotional maturity?
It's an understanding and being at home with yourself that yes, I do experience anger, and yes, I do experience kindness, and working with, instead of becoming the emotion, feeling it like it's an energy passing through you or a signpost on your road on the way to where you're going.
So you're the observer of but now I'm feeling anger. So instead of activating it or engaging it, you just observe it.
Well, it's both. You're in it and you're observing it. So you're not experiencing it. You allow yourself to be totally in it, but at the same time, you understand that that's not who you are. It's very interesting. When you do this practice, you start to expand your potential of what it means to be sexual. And you no longer become dependent on another person or a specific type of event, meaning intercourse or stimulation. And you start to realize you can access orgasmic energy or bliss energy through just simply breathing and smiling. And that's what I mean by a greater potential or expanding who we are as beings. So in the East, the solo practice is often very much emphasized. So to really self-cultivate first.
Focus becomes important in solo cultivation because where the mind goes, the chi flows. This is literally true. And as one starts accumulating more life force energy, where one puts their attention on the body, will usually start tingling. An ideal location is the lower dantian, which loosely translates to energy center and is located about an inch below the belly button. There's a middle and upper dantian as well, but focus just below the belly button as you inhale and exhale, expanding and contracting your lower abdomen as if you were using it to breathe, even though there's no air actually in the area. This breathing technique can be coupled with sets of Kegels, which will stimulate sensations. Pay attention to them, as awareness without expectation is important. The same can be said about edging, as there's no final climax, so one pays attention to being in the moment rather than trying to reach a goal.
And so in the Taoist practice of Matek Chia, the idea is to bring the sexual energy up the spine and expand the brain to stimulate the pineal and pituitary system.
Yes, and the other side of that is you also bring it down the front. And when you bring it down the front, it opens your throat, which allows you to speak your truth. It opens the heart, creating more compassion. It opens the solar plexus, which allows you to just be in the world, very comfortably be in the world. It keeps opening the front, open the front. And the front is known as the yin, or the feminine channel. And most of us are very comfortable in our masculine expression of doing and going and being in linear thought. But our feminine, the softness, the more receptive side, we don't often cultivate. So this practice very much balances your own internal yin and yang, or male and female energies.
You know, in the Taoist practices, they say the man should retain his ejaculation, pull it up the spine. Do you think that's always the case? I mean, I feel depleted if I ejaculate. Usually.
Again, it's sexual energy management. So some Taoists are very strict. They never ejaculate. And other Taoists feel like a good spring cleaning is okay. And so they'll do it a few times a year, mostly in the spring. I believe in exchange. So if you have a partnership that's going to a higher level, and the woman is often gifting her fluids to the male, then I believe that the male can occasionally gift her.
But women aren't depleted in the same way that men are, right? I mean,
they're not, but I think it's okay once in a while in that kind of a way, especially if you do practices. Really what you're doing is drawing the chi from the sperm into your body. So if you're releasing the sperm and you've already drawn all the energy out of it, it's not as damaging as not doing any practice and ejaculating.
Is there a way then to rebuild the chi in men if they happen to ejaculate? Which way is that?
Oh, well, there's many qigongs. It's hard to get into at this time.
And practice
and diet and
food and there are aphrodisiacs that will do that as well.
Yes.
I mean, I find like seafood is an aphrodisiac. No, it's true. Oysters and shrimp. And
olives and.
Because they produce a deeper heat in the lower dantian and they help build the kidneys. So. Now, for women, though, having orgasms isn't depleting. It's very energizing. This is what you've talked about. Can you?
Some ladies, it is depleting. So it depends as well on the individual. Women usually lose their.
What if you could ethically hijack your competitor's traffic and site?
Through menstruation. So they learn through practices how to tap into the ovarian chi and pull that energy into their body and rejuvenate them. The older ladies that I know that do this practice look very young. They haven't gone through the traditional sense of menopause. They're still juicy. They're still
Could they then
alive.
start to then menstruate if they wanted to?
Master Chia has known women who've done practice that have brought their menstruation back even up to 65 years of age.
And would they be able to conceive a child at that? They would. Because they've held on to the chi.
Well, even if you stop menstruating, it doesn't mean that the eggs are gone. Yeah, it's just the hormones have changed.
Well, people say that women really deplete their energy through childbirth. That you lose a lot of chi that way. Is that your understanding as well?
Yeah, it's all the best energies go to the child. So the more children you're pregnant with, the more you're draining your own body, because it all goes. The fetus gets the creme of the creme of everything. So.
Well, that's why when I talked to Matek Chia, he told me he was building an immortal child out of his own essence. Is that something you're practicing as well?
Absolutely.
Can you tell me?
Yeah, it had to do with the last session we talked about the Kan and Li practices.
Right.
And these are the self-intercourse practices. They're inner alchemy practices. And within that, you do create this immortal child or immortal fetus. And it comes from the union. The male and female energies in your body make love. And from that union, there's an energetic child or fetus that's formed, and then you develop and grow it through your loving attention, through your meditation.
Do you feel this fetus now? I mean, have you developed that yet?
If you can, I can. The thing that happens though when you're an early practitioner, if you don't continue the practice, it just dissolves, and then you have to go and recreate this experience. As you get more advanced, it stays.
And then when you give birth to the immortal child, it's kind of a spring of enlightenment, and
it gives birth eventually to your spirit body. And the Taoists believe that you can become immortal through, at the time of death, taking your conscious self, putting in the spirit body, and then you consciously keep existing.
Right. And I think that's possible.
Yeah, tell her stop it. She can stop it. Yeah, so can they hear me? Follow? Yeah, so the reason why I played that was maybe that's why Sada ain't getting no cat, is because his frequencies receptor is off, or he ain't smiling enough, and breathing and smiling enough, because they say you can have orgasms doing that, or you ain't kegling enough. But maybe that's the reason why. And see, that's the reason why I play this for Mr. JJ over here, booty popping for all this mess. Ignorant as hell, don't know his asshole from a hole around here following behind this craziness. So, like I said, people, don't believe the hype. Don't follow this wickedness. And like I said, when you hear this, they were given the titles for a reason. You're going directly against the Bible when you're saying that wisdom was a she. The word was a she. Now, I ain't gonna say who said that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just telling you what was said. You're saying that the word was a she when we know that in the Bible it is given the title he. Wisdom is given the title she. God is given the title he. Jesus is given the title he. And while they, went through all those lengths to word it that way, as you're changing the scriptures directly when it says don't change one dot or tittle. And you're trying to turn the word, which is Jesus, which is a he, into a feminine or divine feminine spirit or whatever. We gotta stop the madness in the community, man. This is craziness. This is craziness. And JJ, if I catch you using them yoni eggs, if I hear that you use them yoni eggs to strengthen your lower chakra, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna talk about your answer 44 years. So there we go, there we have it, and now we can start having some conversations within on the panel, family. I appreciate y'all for coming out and listening. And I had more jokes, but I kind of threw them to the side because it would have took more time just to do that. I just wanted to get the information out there and give y'all something to look at. I'm not no historian or anything, but I know that this stuff is wicked. And when you get to talking these terms, divine feminism and all this, and L and all that, they said Satan was an angel, right? And he took a third of the angels with him. So they were all Elohim. Like I said, But you know, and then Baal and all these names, they all go back to Saturn and Venus, and all this stuff is tied in together. So throughout history, you see us using it, and we're still using it today when we're practicing, singing Yuletide carols on Christmas to the Yule log that was used to sacrifice humans and animals during the Vikings times, or have sex orgies back in England, in Europe. You know, all these things, when it was the inception of these stories, and now we chasing Easter eggs, and all this stuff is after Astar and Astrif and Sophia and all these wicked things. So we need to wake up, you know, and I just wanted to put a little bit of truth out there. So anybody else want to chime in real quick? Paulo, you got anything you want to say, brother?
Yeah, I got something to say, definitely. That was an interesting, a lot of videos. It definitely, gave me reaffirmed with don't put no gods before me. You know what I'm saying? Because in those videos, there was a lot of gods and a lot of things that other people have mixed in with the scriptures, or just making like a copy of their interpretation of what the scriptures were, and then they are putting it into some, making it mystic or psychic type. I mean, not psychic, but secret knowledge. And then, it makes people want to, look after it, because there's a lot of people might not think, but there's a lot of people that's following this knowledge and these things that was being shown in these videos. And then there was a lot of things you might not even know, just subconsciously you might be doing, that you might be. That was some interesting information, and people need to know the other side of what they're thinking, and the moves that they're busting.
They saying no sound, and okay.
Repeat that, what you were saying about Renfro?
Oh well, okay, yeah. Can you hear me on the television now? Am I being heard? Okay. All right. Well, I stated like I had a talk with Judah years ago. I've been messing with Judah for like 2 years, maybe 3 years about this, and he would talk. The Star of David that people wear. Okay. Well, when you have that upside down triangle, that was representing the feminine, and the male was the triangle right side up. And when you put them together, that's where you get your Star of David, or the hexagram, or whatever it's called. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was talking about when I was telling them about Acts 7 and 43. Because says that you're supposed to have that star as a symbol. Even the cross today, you know, we use the cross. That's you know, a symbol of idolatry too. But you know, I'm not getting on the Hebrew Israelites. I'm just saying that is what it's saying right here in Acts 7:43. That's what it means. That you have taken along the tabernacle of Molech and the star of your God, Riphan, the idols you made to worship. Therefore, I will send you into exile beyond Babylon. So we've even incorporated that Star of David to be a good thing when it's actually a part of this religion and this way of thinking, this belief system. So, you know, we just got to be careful, like I said, worshiping idols, worshiping beasts, worshiping feminine deities over God, you know, things of that nature. But yeah, does anybody else want to say anything before we get up out of here? I can't hear.
To the people, just stay the course, get founded as much as you can in the Most High, and you know, these other things and other entities out here, everything is going to play out. So, you know, there's always nothing better than to follow the commandments and, you know, worship the Most High.
To make it fit what they want it to be, and so they can, you know, continue with their devilish, wicked, you know, BS straight out of hell. So do your own due diligence. Don't follow nobody to their demise. Okay, you know, if it's going to be your demise, make sure that it was your fault or what you did that got you there, not because of what somebody else told you and you follow them blindly without doing any of your own research into what they're saying. So I thank, love, and appreciate y'all. Keep your head high, your grass low, and stop lying to my people. And I love my brother Apollo. I love my sister Kareem, and I thank y'all very much. I love everybody in the chat, everybody that showed up, and everybody that's gonna watch later. And like I said, man, you know, let's do better. We got to set better examples out here. We have the kids who are our future watching us. You know, so we got all this wickedness and craziness going on out here. We can be a light. We gonna be all right. All right. And I love y'all. And y'all have a good evening. Thank y'all.
Thanks, Indigenous Black Man. That was a powerful presentation that you put out for the people. The only thing that I could say is, you know, like he said, study up. You can't go wrong with following the Most High and following the commandments. I'd like to thank Sister Karima for putting on a great show, and the Lions Den. It's always scholarship over pseudoship, and we out.
I'll praise you, Most High. Yeah, that sound good, y'all. Hello. What we doing?
Hey, cook that up, Kali.
We still getting to the money, got these haters in they field. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me finches hit my enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. Hok Jj7000, this how we live. Look here, homie, we still Get to the money, got these haters in they field. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me finches hit. My enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. Hok Jj7000, this how we live. Look here, homie, be still. They said you got the call, they tryna blackball you. Play what they own, bro. You can't blackball a boss. The whole world, they hate this right here. The way you hate your neighbor, might as well pull the trigger on yourself. You know we get excited by the smoke. Every day we casting flesh. Say my treasure stored in heaven, we gon' blow the rest. They disrespected and we check the bank that causing kept it still. They asking others about my business, but I ain't got no instant miss. See, I still deal with ox direct. Cause your person don't mean you respect. Your outlet don't get no credit if the ox ain't in it. Money answer all things and you got all these questions. Playing Vic. Look, I employ slavery. Ock if you broke yourself. Yo, them crews in the hood, Jews in the hood. I caught them clues, now I'm good. I broke it down, he understood my all to you. Filtered through, you found a few, I'm good. We what we sold, this here exclusive. They like, hey, folk, look what you doing. We still getting to the money, got these haters in they field. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me finches hit. My enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. Hok Jj7000, this how we live. Look here, homie, we still getting to the money, got these haters in they field. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me finches hit. My enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. Hok Jj7000, this how we live. Look here, homie, be still. Most I told me be still, give a room to work. Know my movie work. Your faith ain't good, don't put the work in. In the spirit flexing, that my day job. Get in the mode out my own, I don't know what they are. Before I got the blueprint, and I'm too legit to quit. Let it spark in the dark, be a light, got it lit. Trying to map my movement, got my haters pondering. The ops set the question there, they wanna know if you still lit. It hit different, you authentic, a lot of ops pretending. We do it for the Lord, got my own motion, who are you to judge? Put most high first, none above. Tap in the spirit, we locked in, they'll come against your plot. You know Judas said, yeah, we spit them scripts, they bailing out. Came on slave ships, then you not black. You know they tell you everything. Isaiah 30:20, yeah, we bad. You see what happened when they tried to rail the train up off the track. False witness, hypocrite. We throw shots back, now they feel heat. Must go get it. We still getting to the money, got these haters in they field. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me finches hit. My enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. Hok Jj7000, this how we live. Look here, homie, we still getting to the money, got these haters in they field. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me finches hit. My enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. Hok Jj7000, this how we live. Look here, homie, be still.